Crossover. Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover. It just crossed him over nastily.
Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
Time for the crossover, powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. Matt and Josh.
Hey,
Wearing their powder blue today.
yes.
Yeah, we called each other last night and we said,
Very
okay, what's the
cute.
color scheme?
I very much like what you got going on, Josh. This is nice.
Tomorrow, we'll be in our Friday afternoon blue tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're going blue again tomorrow.
Straight blue. This is powder blue tomorrow.
Oh.
We're going solid blue, you know.
So you go with the collar down on the quarter zip. Walk me through this decision.
I think it's just the way it laid this morning.
Yeah,
That's what I figured.
Great answer.
Yeah.
You
got to pop that thing.
This
go up?
is going to be.
Oh yeah, now
better.
you're a
I
quarter
like it.
zip guy.
I like it a lot more.
Yeah,
This is
good.
this is something that isn't normal that people will make fun of me for, but I do sometimes. I'll tuck the collar completely in and have a bit of a flat, like V-neck
Whoa.
type deal.
What?
I can't imagine why anyone would make fun of you.
And
for that,
you got mad at us because we accuse you of being a non-belt wearer. Meanwhile, you're tucking your collar
There's only
inside your
one
shirt.
collar tuck.
I'm Mr. Collar Tuck,
You are.
Mr. Tuck, if you will.
Mr. Tuck.
I mean, this is
That you're going to need more context with that. I think.
there's one of those things where it's just like I put on the quarter zip, and the quarter zip is a little tight on me, and naturally
It's not about you.
It kind of yes, it is. It's always about me.
It's about it's about other people.
What a stupid statement.
You're
Yeah.
wearing what? Why? What is the purpose of wearing clothes?
So
Right? It's not for you. It's for other
It's
people.
actually a social
Mhm.
construct.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's for other people.
Yeah.
So you tucking in your collar it's not about you. It's about other people. Like have your collar out. Okay. This is a society. We have decorum. Like I appreciate the
Decorum
Masters.
police.
If you did that up at the
We
up-
decided his retirement job really needs to be driving around the
I
golf
heard about
course,
this.
letting people know when their speakers are too loud.
I like this. Yeah.
I think that Connor would be great too, because when you are new to the golf course, Connor would be the ranger that's kind of mean to you. Like,
I don't think
like
so.
no, the first impression, like Connor is like you just be a little strict. You're not like all buddy and everything like that.
Yeah,
You'll
but
just
if
be like,
they don't listen to me, it's gonna get
heated.
escalate.
Yeah, no. And then I think as you become a veteran of the golf course and you see Happer more and more, and he's your starter every time there's an incremental
Unspoken respect.
There's even spoken, even to the point where you're like,
I respect you.
yeah, not even unspoken. You're just
Respect
friends. You're just laughing with the guy.
Hey,
Hey,
thanks,
Ron!
I got respect for you, man.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Hey, you're the guy that always needs a breakfast ball.
That's fine. See, I would have a pocket full of balls, and I would flip one out to the guy. It's like,
Yeah.
take another one.
You'd actually,
It's on me.
Hey, why don't you play with this one today?
Yeah. It's actually
That'd be a good bit for a
ball-
starter. Someone should do that.
a ball with Happer's face on it. He just every time somebody needs a ball, he give him a custom Happer ball.
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
Is an amazing sponsorship idea for somebody. You just like get your business on a golf ball. You give it to the starter. You're like, always give it to people when they come through.
Oh,
That's
Like,
right. It's like
yeah.
koozies.
You're playing with a ball that has your insurance company on it, and then boom, you're thinking, I need insurance, or I want to switch from what I have. I just have this golf ball.
tired business cards, wired business balls.
Business
So-
balls.
So
yeah, and
business
it's got the
balls,
number on it.
every,
The email and the website all on the ball.
Every summer when I go and dig into my golf bag, I find a bunch of koozies from weddings that I have attended.
Nice.
And then I think about those people.
We got to
right?
pivot. We got to pivot on the wedding koozie.
No.
Whoa!
No, no, no,
Whoa!
no, no,
Whoa!
no, no,
The wedding
no.
koozie's great.
The wedding koozie is good.
I've got all that I need right now.
I drink.
No.
Let's
You always
find a
need more
pivot.
koozies.
You have a wedding koozie.
We've had a wedding koozie, yeah.
I drink.
I found one of my
I have
wedding
like in a
koozies.
drawer in my house just full of koozies.
I do too.
And there's
Yeah.
a lot of wedding.
I drank with the Wiesel Lazos every weekend in college. That was, it was me and the Wiesel Lazos.
I have your wedding koozie that's in my golf bag, and I use it occasionally during golf. And I think about Mike and Shelby
We gave out
and the time where it tornadoed at their wedding.
we give out tees, golf balls, and koozies.
That's awesome.
and the best every summer. Someone will find a golf ball somewhere in Omaha or Lincoln.
It'll say
send a
cheers.
picture, and it's like the Mike and Shelby.
So-
on it.
It's great.
So
And
I-
sometimes they find
What
it.
great promotion.
They find it at really nice golf courses, and it's like,
How'd they get there?
Why are you playing?
Should we make zone golf balls?
Why are you playing champions with this
Yes.
golf ball? Like,
Okay.
what are you
So-
doing?
My
and just spread them out like Easter eggs all over town.
Yeah.
my buddy, he's the first one to get engaged. He's the first friend to officially get engaged. Jason, congratulations to him.
Oh man.
And
Was this the party from a
Yeah,
few weeks ago?
a couple weeks ago, we for my birthday, I had a great birthday. Everybody came over. We went to the backyard.
You
and we
dressed
just
as
hung.
Batman.
No, there's no Batman themed. No Batman themed. It was just a couple of guys. Jason was there. We were talking about his wedding, right? And I did think of Schaefer because Schaefer's got a great story of when Matt Verzel brought you all the pizzas, right?
Yep.
From Paisans. And I came up, I go, okay, this is my wedding idea. Like nobody can take this. But at my wedding, this is what I want. When 10 o'clock rolls around, we're about 3 hours removed from dinner. I want to hire Wrigley hot dog and beer guys to like come into the wedding.
Yeah, I've seen stuff like that before.
And just
like it.
come on in and just be a hot
You want to do it
dog.
before 10.
It's
Yeah.
so clutch.
10 seems like the right time right now, but I'm telling you, you'll do it before.
Have you
Like
guys ever
9:30?
seen the bougie cannoli guy?
Yes, when
The
he's got
cannoli maker?
mustache,
He's
and
he's got the
He's a thirst trapper.
he's got the cannoli wrap,
Is this a local
Sure.
guy?
and he he creams it
He
and
he Vrabels it.
and then he makes a cannoli right there in front of your face.
Incredible.
he puts a cannoli. He's a cannoli face guy.
It's just a cannoli guy. He walks around with his cannoli cart, and
It seems like some sort of pseudo balloon animal.
it
maker.
basically is, yeah.
But
some
he's
ways.
this guy is like his whole bit is that he's got big muscles and a mustache. and
Oh
he's
no, but
barely-
like there's normal
he's barely
people who do it.
he's barely wearing any clothes, and it's just all the videos of the women getting his cannoli.
there's like a sex version of it,
yeah.
of course.
There's
but
a sex
I'm
version
talking-
of everything.
Of course, but I'm talking about the regular, the people
food
who
version.
really care about the cannolis.
Yeah, you want the true cannoli guy.
exactly.
You want the ugly, disgusting cannoli guy.
Yeah.
You're like,
And it
"Ha-
sounds like you want the Skinamax version.
I just want old.
You want the sex
No,
cannoli guy?
I don't want the sex cannoli guy. I want the ugly, disgusting Wrigley Field vendors. All right. I want the guys who are like, they take the videos of like, what's your hot dog call? I'd be
Nice.
like, John Gruden, he goes, what's your snap count, man? I'd be like, what's your hot dog call, man? Give me a
Cotton
hot-
candy, ibba-dibba-dib.
Yep.
That's that guy from Rosenblatt.
Hot
Do you remember,
dog.
Schaefer, do you remember the lemonade guy from Haymarket Park?
Was he the lemonade?
Lemonade, wee!
Yeah. So,
That guy
a
rocks.
story on that. My friends and I enjoyed that guy so much that we would be at the blackjack table and we started referring to if you hit blackjack as lemonade. And so then you'd get a blackjack and then all of us at the table would start doing that. And we were getting random people involved with it. And then we had like
That's
this
great.
is
And then everybody would go, wee!
pretty much. I thought it was we did woo. Lemonade.
Oh, I always thought it was wee.
Oh,
you hit
no.
him with the Ric
We
Flair.
need, I
Yeah,
can't.
somebody text in. Somebody knows
Somebody
about
knows.
This
Somebody
is a
knows
lot
the
like
lemonade
when
guy.
Snoop Dogg asked, "Is it lottie dotty da or dotty dotty da?"
I
that.
actually,
Oh, which one is it?
Lottie.
It's got to be Lottie Dottie
I
Da.
think it's
I
lot.
think
Lottie.
I only know Lottie.
Lottie Dottie
I
Da.
actually learned about what the Mandela effect was in Chuck Klosterman's book. I had
Oh,
no idea.
You're learning.
I would just say the Mandela effect. I didn't know what it was really referring to, And it
See, you're
just,
learning.
Blue
I am
Dabba Dee
learning.
Dabba Die.
yeah, and it's like you think something is like something just gets passed down the line to the point where it's just like we all believe
That's
it's
what it
true.
is now.
Yeah. I'm a blue out of beat at about.
I guess I don't know for sure. I don't know if it's lemonade,
There's-
lemonade, wee or lemonade, woo.
If you've been to Wrigley Field a lot, you know what
Definitely
I'm
thought
talking
it was
about.
woo.
There was this older
Team wee.
beer guy, and I think he's since retired, but he was like the voice of beer at Wrigley. Like you could hear him throughout the entirety of the field, and his thing was Bearman,
Nice.
Bearman,
Nice.
and just going around. It was great, and you could hear him from like 8 sections away, and
My-
you're kind of like there's the anticipation of
I love that.
Beerman's coming.
I love that.
Last time I was at Wrigley, my favorite part of it was we were stuck in this 2-hour rain delay, but the beer man is right behind me. He's got his cart right behind us. So going up there, I'm on the third base side, going up there. Every time I would get a beer, he would just give me a new baseball card. And it compelled me to want to get more beers to see
yeah.
which baseball cards I would get.
These
then-
are the people that need to have free admission to
Yeah.
baseball parks around the country.
And so then, like, it gets done, and I have this collection of Cubs baseball cards I don't want. And I'm like, I go find the guy to give them back so we can keep giving them to other people.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't need the
Oh my
card.
God.
Sure.
But it's pretty awesome. Like, you get a beer, and it's like, oh, I got a Mark Grace card.
Just out of a
you
great
get a beer, and you get a Steve Traxel. You
I-
know, like, it's
Go.
Fantastic.
I just
Go.
thought of a great PR move for Major League Baseball. Take it or leave it. Okay. So, they have like the Little League game in Williamsport, whatever.
Yeah,
There's a couple thousand people there. So, same idea, but it's all the whack jobs from across the country who have been staples at their home
parks.
team
Yeah.
ballpark.
So we need the pink hat guy from the Cubs game. We need Marlins man there.
I don't want. Can the Vandy Whistler go there just because?
Yes, sure. He's
Yeah.
invited. The guy with his butt out at the Rays
Yeah.
game the other night.
God.
That
Yeah.
butt guy. You have the lady who took the picture
Mr. Butt.
of Joe Adele at the
Yeah.
Angels game.
We need the
one-
guy who does the roll call for the Yankees.
Okay, yeah, that guy sucks.
The
But he's
bleacher-
definitely
I
invited.
want
He's
no
invited.
bleacher creatures.
So
Dodger
No.
Films. You
My
remember
one-
Dodger Films? You remember Dodger Films?
No.
He was a very famous YouTuber who would like record Dodger.
Oh yeah, you
games.
could have Zach Campbell go.
But he was the nice PG awesome version of Zach Campbell.
Okay.
He was like the fun good guy version of Zach Campbell. He just loved the Dodgers.
My one trip to Old Yankee Stadium, I got introduced to very, very famous Old Yankee Stadium guy. His name was, I believe, Freddie. And he had one eye and he would walk around the ballpark with a pan and a spoon and just absolutely hammer that thing.
I heard of this guy.
And he would, he had created his own newspaper.
oh my god!
And it was, and on the headline it said like Freddie Says, like SEZ or whatever, and it was like the headline of the day. I met this guy who was like half terrifying and half incredible.
Yeah.
Exhilarating.
Yeah.
I have
was
I
amazing.
got multiple pictures with the bear guy who would go to Soldier Field with the big bear costume and everything like
Nice.
that. He's like Bud Crawford. Everybody's got a picture with him.
Chiefsaholic.
Yeah, Chiefs Hall would be there. How about the guy who
He's
dressed
in
up?
jail, unfortunately.
He would. How about the guy dressed up like a tiger for LSU last year? He was in that full tiger.
Oh yeah, that's
outfit.
a good guy.
So does that mean like
He was
all
smelly.
most of the Raiders fans are able to go to Williamsport?
Yeah.
then?
Got to get some Cowboys fans in there too.
But specifically the guy with the shoulder pads with
I'm
the
surprised there's
spikes
not,
on
like,
it.
If you wear shoulder pads to any sporting event, you're invited to your whack job.
Firefighter
fan.
Ed,
Yeah.
Fireman Ed.
I'm kind of surprised there's not like a super fan convention held somewhere where all of the team super fans can go and just like have a super fan supremacy
Yeah.
battle.
Yeah, this
The-
is good. This would be really good
the-
content opportunities
the
for
guy-
the content creators.
The
out there.
security guard who the Pittsburgh Pirates security guard last year who was whipping that guy with his belt in the main concourse during that fight. Do you guys remember that?
Oh yeah,
There
I
was
do.
that massive fight, and
I
between
do.
him and his belt came off, and he started whipping him with his
Yeah,
belt.
there was a giant fight. I do remember this.
Missed this entirely.
It was
When
incredible.
you started with that, I was like, "Do you mean Big Dom from Philadelphia?"
Well, Big Dom would be invited.
Well,
for
when
sure.
you started, I thought of the Red Sox cop when the guy flipped over the bullpen on the walk-off home run, and the Red Sox cop is the famous picture of him like with his arms up in the air.
Okay,
Get
Well,
that guy.
I think we're missing one obvious one. I mean, Bartman's got to be at the game, right?
Barman is probably the
I mean,
keynote speaker.
He,
Unfortunately,
this is how you be a whack job fan. he's like all of the assistant coaches for Husker football.
Barman's not like a whack job.
He was a whack job. What do you mean? He had a green turtleneck, which, by the way,
He wore something weird. It doesn't
he
make
was,
him
he was
had a
just wrong
green,
place,
He was a
wrong time.
green turtleneck. He had the wired headphones in.
it wasn't Bartman's fault.
You wouldn't know.
What do you,
They
okay,
didn't
but,
have
but
wireless
you have to
headphones
understand
then.
that
Yeah.
the 2003 Cubs losing that series is one of my dad's greatest heartbreaks. Like
yeah, no, my brother
he
was
will-
a Cubs fan when he used to have a favorite team.
My dad was-
totally understand.
my dad was at that game and then at the next game when they lost.
yeah,
Like
Well, I know
that-
what Bartman means, but like what we're saying is these people are like they seem like they could be industry plants. Like Bartman was just.
I think the
Bartman was
Marlins.
a regular guy who wore a
I
turtleneck.
think the Marlins definitely planted Bartman for sure. They definitely planted.
Okay, you don't believe that.
I don't believe that at all remotely. I do like the idea. I think you were hinting at
Oh, Big Nut! Somebody just texted me, Big Nut.
Mike Vrabel.
What a normal text to get from another human being.
You know the
The
Buckeye
worst
guy.
part is you know exactly who he's
Yeah,
talking about.
I have no idea.
You don't know who Big Nut is?
No, I don't. Big Nut.
Poll question.
Big Nut sounds like a guy that you would find at a local bar everywhere. Hey,
No,
there's
no,
Big
no.
Nut over there.
No, he's a different guy. He's a real guy. Big Nut.
I like the idea that you were kind of hinting at like freelance beer vendors or freelance hot dog guys that can just go across stadiums. Like you can have the Wrigley Field beer man.
No, but
over
you
in,
can't
like,
do it
different-
because you have to. It has to be unique to your place.
Yeah, they have
you
their
know?
charm in their area.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are some stadiums that are just the concourse and the food is so nice there where it's like they've kind of eliminated having that charm. Like the Brewers, if you've been to
I go to the
Mil-
concourse. I almost rarely ever get anything from vendors.
I
If
mean,
I do, sometimes it's when you go in somewhere and they're just posted
I'll-
up somewhere. And they're
yeah.
like, yeah, you don't have to go to the line. You can get your beer from
And
me.
maybe
See-
the vendors don't actually make any money. They're just a part of the ambiance of the event so
maybe
much
they're
that
just
you can't
paid
take
actors.
them away.
They're
Yeah.
just paid actors at this point.
They are. Literally.
I will say, Mike, all of the other, and I haven't been to too many baseball fields, but all of the other fields I've been to, I agree with you. I've never really gone from vendors.
But I'm also a concourse guy. which
Yeah.
we've discussed.
I-
I like concourse.
Concourse
I like
guy.
walking. The
Mr.
concourse.
Concourse.
I like walking.
I am Mr.
I like
Concourse.
walking the concourse too. I honestly think just my affection for vendors is literally just Wrigley.
Oh, you got to take a
everywhere-
lap. I mean,
oh my God,
you got to
yeah.
take a lap.
The
You
best-
get in, you see where your seat is,
take
you
a
make
lap.
your lap.
Yeah.
You take a lap.
I
Oh
think-
my God, this is this. I'm glad we have like-minded individuals in this room
this
because I
is-
have to convince
No,
people who are with me
have to take a
that
lap.
we have to go into the game like at the very, very least a half hour early
Yeah.
to take the lap.
Honestly,
But people are like, oh, well, come on, there's half hour till the game starts. I'm like, you kidding me, guys? Come on.
If it's
sometimes
a stadium you've been to many times, no.
No.
Sure.
But if it's one that you're going to the first time, you got to be there early enough to take a lap.
sometimes I like taking a lap in the third inning when it's like
Sure.
the concourse is kind of empty and
Take
you
your
can
lap
just
then.
you can kind of just walk through and there's a lot you can catch a little bit more. Favorite lap I've taken that surprised me was Angel
Ooh,
Stadium.
I got one. I got a
I had
favorite
an
lap.
Angel Stadium, which it doesn't look like much, and it really isn't that much on the outside. You take that concourse lap. First off, Rick Fox just walks right by you. You're like, oh wow, okay, this is
really
you
care.
know. And then
If I saw Rick Fox, I'd be like,
they
I
have,
would do nothing.
They
Hey,
had
I saw you in that show Dirt with Courtney Cox back in 2008. You remember that, Rick Fox?
What a pull.
but
You're like,
They-
who are you?
the Los Angeles Angels memorabilia area where you can potentially buy baseballs and stuff like that and like look
Fun
at like
places at parks.
Dude.
Going there.
it's insane because they just not only do they have like obviously a great history, but then they also just have like random ass guys that like never had any.
They do
never
not have a
played.
great history.
Well, they have Nolan Ryan. They have a Nolan Ryan sign ball. They got.
I mean, everyone had
they
Nolan
got-
Ryan
like,
at some
Most
point.
parks have that, right?
No, I know.
Oh,
But it's just like they had at the time Otani and Trout were
Sure.
on the team, so
It's
they
fun
had
to
all
wonder.
they had all the Otani and Trout. I know. I'm
Yeah.
aware of this. I'm telling you that theirs is great. Another underrated one is the Brewers area. The Brewers signed area, pretty
Haven't been
decent. You got to take a lap around.
I
that
haven't been to
park.
Miller Park. I've only been to Old County.
Really.
Hashtag old.
Miller, I'll tell you this right
Hashtag
now.
old B word.
I used to, because my dad worked in Milwaukee for a very long time. We like the Bradley Center and Miller Park when it was older, they were kind of dumps. And like in the last 10 years, they have the Pfizer Forum is insane. And Miller Park is a whole other level from what it used to be. Like it is. It's talk about a great concourse lap. That'd be one.
Yeah, Miller Park, not Miller Park, Old County. My strongest memory is the fans booing when Mark McGwire didn't hit the home run because I was there in 1998 and he flew out at the warning track.
That's funny.
And like the Brewers end the inning, but people were booing because they wanted the home run.
Do you have a favorite lap?
Yes, Target Field.
Whoa.
I haven't been there.
Great lap. Incredible lap.
It is a great park.
Would you,
It's number 2 or 3 on my park ranking.
who's number one?
San Francisco.
Yeah.
It's the best lap because it ends if you go, third base all the way over. By the time you get to right field, you're in a boardwalk with the bay behind
That's
you.
awesome.
It's incredible.
That's
the
tremendous.
scenery of it is incredible.
I think my favorite park is Coors. That's the favorite park.
Coors is in my top 5 as well.
Yeah.
Good lap, but your lap's got to be upstairs because
Well-
you get the mountain view.
See, I didn't take the lap upstairs, and the lap
I've been all
wasn't
over that park.
the lap wasn't the
Humping
best
it all over the park.
because it's a lot of park. You see a ton of the field. I kind of like the laps where it's like a little bit hidden. I don't want a completely hidden concourse, but it's like a little bit more like Miller Park is like that, where it's like there's not a lot of areas for you to watch the game. It's a very kind of cut off lap.
Do you
that
even
you're taking.
walk through the back part of Miller Park, like over by the slides?
Yes,
and all
man.
that over there.
There's like a VIP area in center
It
field.
kind of cuts you off.
I don't
So-
like that.
We-
I
when
don't like being cut off.
when me and Jake went to the games up there, we sat out in that left field bleacher area, and
Oh.
the walk off home run almost came like right to us. It was fun.
Have either
We
of you
saw
been to
Bernie go down the
Comerica?
slide. No, I never seen a game there.
There's
No.
all these like little tiger statues throughout the place. It's kind of a weird park. It's sort of an odd. You would make that noise all the time.
I would. I love making that
All
noise.
the time.
You know what? That'd be a great retirement job, making the Wildcat sound at the Northwestern
Wildcat
football
for
game.
hire.
Yeah.
Wildcat, Tiger,
Be a
Lion,
fun job interview.
all of them.
Whoa, Odson.
Panthers.
That was a good one, Odson.
Any Wildcats, Tigers, Panthers, or Lions, hire
Have
me.
you been working on that, Josh?
Yeah,
Mine's
it's
terrible.
It's a tool in my bag, and I know it.
You
You
guys
got-
talking about secret talents the other day, and you're over here pulling out professional Wildcat noises.
Yeah, you got the little phlegm in the lead
Yep,
up part
that's-
of it.
that's the
There's
key.
The key is the lead phlegm.
Underrated lap. The Trop. I love the Trop.
because everybody always says how
You-
bad of a
I get the
stadium it is.
paella at the Trop.
You stand up for the Trop, but only because no one else will.
That's right.
See,
I
I
thought
am the
there'd be
contrarian.
flaming trash cans in the concourse, and there weren't.
Exactly,
It's a great-
Josh.
it's a great
Your
ballpark.
expectations are so
they
low.
are.
And
Yeah.
then you just walk in, you're
Well,
like, oh, yeah, this is good.
You actually want an underrated lap. There's no charm about it whatsoever because it's built like a stadium because Jerry Reinsdorf is a dumbass, but it's just like the White
That's a
Sox-
bad lap.
No, but there's a lot of great food.
It's
There's
a
a
bad
lot.
park.
It's a terrible. Do you know what they rotated that park 90 degrees? You would see the
Yeah, I
the
saw that aerial
skyline?
shot the other
Yeah,
day.
that's been a known thing forever.
Now, but,
yet you're
like,
you know what we're looking at, Jerry? Gary, Indiana.
Yeah,
home
but-
of.
Like, you
Del
can't
Bears.
the
point
Air
the
Bears.
You can't point the park that way. It's just not. It's not. It wouldn't be prudent. It'd be sun in the hitter's eyes.
There's like a hidden article in ESPN about like the original plans of what White Sox Park was going to be like, and they were going to make it more like Camden Yards, and then they decided, nope, we're going to make just like
We're gonna make the opposite of a great looking park.
yeah, we're going to make like the NBA version of a baseball
It's
stadium.
a good lap. Camden Yads.
Yeah, that's so. those
That's
are
a top
four. We've talked
five.
about four of them. That's
Yeah.
top five. Camden is awesome.
Great park.
The
For how
warehouse out there, Bugs Barbecue out there in right field.
Get some Natty Bows.
Natty Bows, Old Bay
Old
fries.
Bay's all over everything.
Yeah, you guys have been making Old Bay references.
Ian talked
recently.
about Old Bay, and I was like, yeah, I agree.
Have you had Old Bay?
yeah. I mean, not a lot.
What-
I mean, not
what-
the point where I'm like an Old Bay expert.
Brian Christopherson might be double you and has apparently never had Old Bay.
How do you never have Old Bay?
Yeah,
That's kind of crazy.
that's what we were wondering.
We
I mean,
were
you've never.
confused.
I mean, I don't have it in my spice cabinet now. It's always been in my parents' spice cabinet, but
And like Brian's a seafood guy. Like he
I put
eats
it
all
on.
sorts
I
of
put it on rice whenever I've always put it
Old
on.
Bay
Like,
on
yeah,
rice.
I just put kind
Yes.
of spices up your white rice a little.
But you don't like it?
I like it.
Oh, you're
I just don't love
you're
it.
just fine with it.
I
I'm
like
fine with it,
doing
yeah.
Old Bay like air fryer chicken. Very good.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good idea.
It's a
I
good
like
spice for your chicken.
the Tony Satries.
Me too.
Tony Satries.
That's a staple for me.
and then
I
the
don't think we have that.
but
in our
what's
spice cabinet?
well,
Should.
do you got the slap your mama?
No.
I love the slap your. I like
we
the
know
slap
you
your,
love the slap your mama.
I-
especially
Too
on mac
much, buddy.
Especially on mac and
no.
cheese.
Cut back on the slap your mama. Okay.
You're here. Am I Mr. Slap Your Mama?
Basically,
We need
if
another
somebody
get
were to
together,
try that
too.
mac
was
and
a lot of
We
cheese.
fun.
do need another get together.
well, we could
Yeah.
probably go to my dirt lawn house if you guys want to.
Ooh.
That'd be great. Or we can have a housewarming party
We're gonna
at
show up,
my
and
new
we're
apartment.
just rolling sod out for Happer. That's what he wants.
What if you guys came to
Oh,
my? What if
by the way, I bumped into your smelly guy last night,
yeah,
and he just so happened to hit a piss rod laser home run into center field. I forgot to ask him about his smelliness.
you gotta ask. You gotta ask Smelly Man about it.
Yeah.
That's what I call
Yeah, I gotta keep reminding myself.
him, Mr. Smelly Man.
I
Mhm.
feel like it's a tough conversation to just go into.
It's
Look,
okay.
yesterday I
We're-
think he might be listening to the radio because the last 2 days he's opened up the window when he was cooking.
Probably not
So-
today.
No,
Does he
probably.
know that you do sports talk?
I think we've said a combined 12 words to each other.
So no.
Yeah. But he might, I mean, I say it so much on the radio that the baseball team is smelly that I might be getting around.
Yeah,
I don't know,
people
man.
who listen to us might be. Yeah,
I mean,
Getting that info to
it's
them.
been a staple at this point that
Yeah, but nobody knew
room
who
is
that.
smelly.
Yeah, those guys
was.
don't listen to sports talk. They love Twitch
never know.
streamers.
is that what they
Wow.
watch?
No, actually, I don't know what they
I think
specifically
we're-
watch,
I think-
but kids their age.
I think normal kids my age are kind of done with streamers.
It looks
Oh.
like you're drinking
Really?
a beer.
It does look like that, by the way.
Normal. I'm not.
He's just like holding it over his computer in a way that's causing me a little bit of anxiety.
What is that?
It was
It
a.
looks like apple juice.
It was
also.
Americano. It was an Americano, and then there was some coffee at the bottom, and then I put some water in
A cold Americano?
it. Yeah, it was a nice
Okay.
Americano.
Okay.
I'm not drinking a beer.
It does look like it.
Why not?
No, this is like coffee water.
Okay, I'd like to dive more into this just briefly. What's up? Your generation now is done with streamers.
Normal people.
Mm.
Normal people.
Why do you think that is?
Because it's just streaming is just weird. It's kind of run its course. At one point, it was awesome. It was super popular. I was into it too. I was watching streamers. It was all the galore and whatnot.
I don't.
This feels a lot like my generation is out on Christmas. If you remember that,
was that
take.
a take that you had?
No, that was a Nick Grimm take where he's like, my
No.
generation
Yeah, you got to understand.
shifts more towards Halloween than Christmas. And they're like, no, Nick, that's just
That's
you.
just a very
That's-
personal Nick thing.
I don't know anybody in my life who I would consider normal as my friend who is like consistently watching streamers.
But you watch YouTube a lot.
Yeah, but I watch Rich Eisen, or I watch like the I-80 Club, or I watch 1620 The Zone. Like I watch your show. I don't
I
really,
mean, that's technically
And I-
streamers.
and I watch
That's what we were talking about earlier.
I watch movie clips or like
You do watch movie clips.
podcast clips or whatever. I'm not watching
Okay.
Kai Cenat or I
Alright.
Show Speed or
I guess they're different. They're
you
different.
know
They feel
or
different.
Andrew Tate or anything like that. I'm not watching those.
Odd that that's the one that came to your mind.
These are just streaming examples. Josh Hudson.
Not endorsements.
No, no,
Please don't be endorsements.
no. I'm not talking about who's no, I'm not watching Clay Travis's stream.
Okay. I'll endorse Locked On if you're looking for word of mouth to grow.
There's a lot of people in your generation who watched a certain streamer who's no longer with us.
Lucille Ball.
No, not that one.
Who is that?
Oh no, Matt.
The godmother of streaming, Lucy.
No, not Lucille Ball.
I love that.
Not Lucille Ball. Who is?
I don't want to talk about it.
Damn
Okay.
kids and you,
No.
kids in your video games.
Lucille Ball.
Desi!
Lucille Ball. Is I Love Lucy?
That's right. You
Okay.
got it.
Whew.
You got it.
Whew. My mom would kill me.
It'll come to you later. Who
Take
I
me
was
to the
referencing.
Copa.
Dude, I would watch that. If Lucille Ball hopped on like a 24-hour stream, I'd want to see what she was up to.
Oh, we have This Week in Women's History.
We do. She will not be on there.
Okay. Well, I already know who she is. It
Yeah.
would kind of defeat the purpose.
Get your names in.
Josh goes Marilyn Monroe. I go, oh, I never heard of this one.
I'm looking forward to seeing who's talked about today.
Yeah.
It'd be a good time. We
It's
have a
always
good
it's a great segment to jump into and then be like, oh,
Happy New Year.
Sure, I don't know what we
Oh,
do with
I don't
these.
know.
Yeah,
Happy,
I don't think Josh is logging.
Happy
them.
New Year. That was pretty. I mean, the last 5 minutes
Been
was a
told
little
we're gonna be working,
was a little slow,
but
but
I'm told that every year. So
Nope.
Bye. See ya. That was Crossover, powered by Everlove Concrete Repair and Omaha at everloveconcrete.com. Middays with Matt coming up next.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people.
Whose car are we gonna take?
I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest.
That's an absolutely horse crap call. Make room for Daddy. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Chicago is.
This is Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Middays Matt live and rolling here on the 1620 The Zone Radio Network. Matt McMaster, as always, joined by Josh Odson on a gloomy, doomy, gray, with a hint of blue Omaha morning. For you out there in central Nebraska, I don't know what weather might be out there, so maybe you go ahead and text us. And
should we just do that real quick?
yeah, what's the weather out in
If I
central
could
Nebraska?
type. Grand Island weather.
Yeah, what's the weather?
49 and cloudy.
Okay, so a gloomy, doomy day in GI as well on the 1620 The Zone Radio Network. I actually have one of my best friends, probably going to end up being my best man. Lives out.
Congratulations, Matt.
Thank you. He's going to be my best man in like 10 years when I get married. He lives in Seattle, and the last week and a half, 10 days at this point, we've had a lot of rain. We've had a lot of gray skies. We haven't seen the sun nearly as much. Yesterday, we saw the sun a lot, but a couple of days before that, did not see the sun a whole lot. And I was complaining to Colin about it. And he goes, Matt, that's my life. Because that's every day. He goes, that's literally every day. And his
James Franco meme first time.
His girlfriend was like, literally the first time the sun came out in 6 months, I stared up at the sun and I started to cry. It gets depressing, man.
Wow.
It gets depressing out in Seattle when you don't see the sun. So hopefully the sun will come out at some point over the next couple of days. Thank God the Tiburon League is on Wednesdays and not Thursdays, because I would be very upset.
How'd you hit him?
I was shooting a 43 heading into the 9th hole. I ended with a 53.
Yikes.
First club throw of the year. Checked off the list. Actually, shout out Tim, who was the guy we were playing against. Tim told me, he goes, look, never throw your club up high. Or he goes, never throw your club down low. Throw your club up high. Because if you throw it down low, that's how you break the club. If you throw it up a little bit higher, it'll just kind of land. So I thought of Tim when I was throwing my club, and I kind of sidearmed it, got some air on it, through the 52 degree pitch and wedge. It was tough. It was a tough 9th hole. If you know Tiburon on the Mako course, par 5, 9th hole to end it. Tough. But great to be back out there. Ball striking was great. I showed up to the course. I had 3 balls in my bag. I totally forgot that
Doesn't feel like enough.
I needed to pack a new box of balls. I didn't lose 1 ball.
Okay.
And I got back to the clubhouse and they're like, Matty, what'd you shoot? I go 53. And I go, how many balls did you lose? I go 1, or I go none. And they go, how bad are you that you did not take 1 out of bounds penalty today?
You're hitting them straight.
And you hit it. You got a 53. You lost no balls and you got a 53 on a par 9. Are you kidding me? So look, rough first round to start the season. We did win in match play though, because I did play well until the 9th hole. So even though we lost in scores, we did win in match play. So shout out to me. Last year I had a winning record in match play. Just like 1-on-1.
Does the Ryder Cup know that you're available?
I'm a good match play golfer.
Yeah.
If we're going just straight score, not good. But if we're going match play, like I just have to beat you at this 1 hole, I'm better. I think if I played every hole as match play, I'd probably shoot like 3 strokes better than usual. But it was a good start to the season for Matty Mac over in the Tiburon League. Speaking of golf, we have much better golf at one of the greatest golf courses in the world. It might be doomy and gloomy and gray and rainy here in Omaha, but in Augusta, Georgia, it is sunny. It is dry. There is no sign of it being rainy in the future. We are going to get to the end. By the time that this show is done, we will have all of the golfers who have already teed off in the first round today of the Masters. We will be giving you Masters updates as we move along the show. I know that hopefully some people have one TV or one computer on the Masters and their other TV or other computer on Middays with Matt, or maybe you're just going to be on the radio all day and we'll give you updates as we go. So far, Patrick Reed, everybody's favorite golfer, is currently leading. He's at 3 under, along with Kurt Kitayama and Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah.
Frankie was the story yesterday. I've been trying my hardest to get it over the water, and I'm really trying my hardest and come back again next year. Not bad. Did not hit the water, or did not hit the green. Went in the water, but gave a good go at it. Shout out to Frankie Fleetwood. But Tommy Fleetwood, his father, who definitely one of the better golfers in the world without a doubt, but has not won the Masters. Currently 3 under. He has a putt right now.
Oh,
I believe this is on 6. It's about a 9-footer, little left to right here. And look at that, right down the middle. Beautiful putt by Tommy Fleetwood. I believe that was for par, so he will stay at 3 under through 6, the co-leader of your Masters. We still have 66 holes to play for Mr. Fleetwood before he
it's all over
wearing
now.
that green jacket. It would be a very special ceremony, might I add, Josh Hodson, if Tommy Fleetwood or Shane Lowry were to win the Masters this year, because there's kind of, a friend group, if you will, in the PGA between Tommy Fleetwood, Shane Lowry, and Rory McIlroy.
A clique?
If Rory, not like the bad type of clique that does that thing at Madison Square Garden, which almost ruins the entire wrestling industry.
Killing the biz.
Yeah, you don't do that. But now, we've absolutely murdered the business of wrestling, so it doesn't matter anymore. What we do today in pro wrestling makes the clique look like a stick of dynamite. Seriously.
If you know, you know.
And you know what? Tripp's having to pay for it probably.
Well, he was the only one there left holding the bag.
Well, yeah. Well, because he was a great bag carrier for Shawn Michaels for all those years. And then he married the boss's daughter. Lesson to everybody.
What a run.
Idiot.
Golf.
By the way, somebody came up to me and they were like, is WrestleMania this week or next week? And I'm like, I think it's next week.
Yeah, it's next weekend.
No, but the fact that I'm like,
you just didn't know off the top of your head.
I think. I don't even think I'm going to watch Saturday. I know.
You'll end up not having anything else going on, and you'll dip in.
I'm a 24-year-old man. I hope I have some nice things going on a Saturday.
You won't.
Thanks, Josh. I'll watch on Sunday, though. I definitely won't have anything going on there, and they've purposely stacked that card. Anyway, Masters go. Oh, my God, a patron just got hit. Oh, my Lord.
Whoa.
That was a tough bounce.
Nobody seems concerned.
No, well, they cut out of the shot immediately. Bryson just absolutely launched the ball. Look at this, Josh.
Okay, let's watch this replay. We're not disseminating.
Bang! Oh, he took it right off the forearm, man. Actually, gave Bryson a pretty good bounce. He's about
it really helped the shot.
He's kind of pin high right now. So I hate that the live guys have to wear their live tour team polos at these.
It's the only time anyone's ever going to see them.
I was with a bunch of these older men yesterday at the Tiburon Golf League at the little place we go for afters, and they were just so sick and tired of live golf.
Really?
They were so mad.
Even the golf guys are out on this thing.
The golf guys were like,
I know nobody watched, like the TV ratings are low, but I thought at least like the golf guys would be like, more golf, sure.
No, they're like, he's fallen off because he doesn't play golf anymore. He's already been paid. Yeah, these older men were like, it defeats the purpose. I know back in my day, I had to work for every set. I didn't just get paid up front, to begin the year and just get to coast.
Whoa.
I know. And then they were talking about the music. They were really mad about the music. They think that one guy, and I won't name his name, but Dave's a great dude. He was like, all this music, I think it rattles them. Like, I don't think they're focused enough because the music is going on. And then they go to these places that don't have music and they're not used to being as focused as they once were when they were on the PGA Tour. A lot of people are doing some tinfoil hat psychological science to figure out why Cameron Smith has fallen off of the map.
Interesting. It has to be the music.
It has to be the music. This is why Connor Happer would be a great Ranger. You can just tell everybody to shut the music off.
I really want that for him because I think he'd do really well in that role.
I can't wait for Connor Happer to be 65. I think he's going to be one of the funniest retirees out there. Because he already is in,
he's going to stay active.
Well, you don't care what people think about you.
No, I really don't.
You don't. And he worked with you for what, 4 years?
Yeah.
And it definitely rubbed off on him. And the reason why I know it rubbed off on him because it's rubbing off on me in a way.
Good.
Where I just I'm not as locked in on what people are saying about me as much. So I think now that you've kind of influenced him to be, and I think he already kind of was that way anyway, at least from what I'm
trending that way.
You've just accelerated that process. I think he would kill it as a Ranger. But like I said, the key is the more you keep, if you meet a Ranger and you're like, oh, the guy's kind of rude or the guy's kind of mean, just keep coming back to the golf course and don't cause any trouble. And then eventually that Ranger will be your best friend. That's just how it works.
Okay.
So we will be watching the Masters today. We will be giving you some updates as the tournament in Georgia rolls along. We also have some more portal talk to do. The college basketball portal is open. Over 1,700 players are in the portal. We are finding out who is going where. Creighton already had a massive addition to their roster yesterday. One of the best defenders in the paint in the Big East is going from Providence to the Hilltop. Aswin Aramunse is a Creighton Blue Jay. No longer Creighton Blue Jay. Fedor Zukic. We will talk about that. 007 after a season and a half and a career that was more. We talked about Fedor Zukic's eligibility more than we talked about his actual basketball playing ability.
That's right, Matt.
Like we talked way more about whether or not the guy was actually going to be able to play the game of basketball as opposed to critiquing what was I'm going to be honest, a pretty lackluster stat line that he put together over his career. 56 games, somewhere about 14 minutes per game, 38% from the field, 30% from three, 5.6 points. When you look at it that way, you go, well, it's not that big of a loss. If anything, you're kind of eliminating an inefficient offensive player, and Creighton needs more efficient offensive players. But at the same time, if you watched him play and you watched some of Fedor's best moments, you would know that when Fedor looked great and when he looked smart and crafty and shifty, he made some pretty big impacts on the basketball court. So we will talk about Fedor Zukic. What does it mean for Creighton men's basketball? We'll continue to talk about Berke Buchenjaw. I have a hypothetical question, and I have a hypothetical event, and I have something that could very well potentially happen that I don't know if Nebraska fans are ready for this. I think something could happen with Berke potentially that if you're not a pro sport fan, you're going to say, what in the hell is this? I don't think Josh Hodson has no idea to what I'm referring to.
No clue.
We're gonna keep it that way because there are some people who are really shaken up over Berke leaving.
Yeah, I got some questions about that.
Okay, well, we can talk. We can talk about that. We'll have some talks about that because I find them interesting as well. I think there are two sides. I think there's always been two sides of the Berke coin. There was the one side of me watching him, not this season, but the season before, being like, guy's not very good. Guy's more of I know that he's important on defense, and when he's playing his best on defense and rebounding the ball, he's a very effective player, but he's more of a detriment on offense than anything. And then, I got to give Gary credit. When I was hosting with him, there was the side of the coin of like, dude, he's 6'10", he's very athletic, and there's a legitimate potential there. And I think that you found the middle ground of Berke when he was the fourth or fifth option on the offensive side of the ball, and he was just, hey, Berke, go and rebound and play defense. That was when he was at his best. And the games when Rink was out and he was kind of expected to be closer to the third option on the basketball court, that's when he was at his worst. And so I think Nebraska found a very, very good role for him. But there is definitely people are legitimately sad that he is not going to be on the team next year. And there are even some people who are like, he's got to come back. Right?
If you go in the portal, you can jump right back out. It's totally fine. Penalty free.
How many times have we seen that before? I mean, look at Husker football. How many those guys always jump in the portal and then just come back? It does happen.
Yeah.
But like, to me, that's one of those things where like it doesn't happen until it happens.
That's what you tell yourself in a relationship when you realize you've let the hot one get away. You're like,
but is Berke really the hot one?
People are treating him like he is, and it confuses me.
I have a very it's not. I have an inappropriate comparison that we're not going to say on the air. Okay. But it's very accurate.
Let's go to break. You tell me.
It's like some of those relationships where it's like you're only clearing it doing it for one reason, you know?
We're putting Berke on a pedestal.
You know, where it's like, see, this is where I'm going to cut it off.
Jack Mitchell is holding hands with Berke Buchton Joe on an Arizona rooftop.
Let me tell you this right now. Those fingers are interlocked between Jack Mitchell and Berke Buchton Joe. Both those boys are tarps off at the Sedona pool. Mm-hmm. We are going to read one of Jack's tweets because I actually look,
oh no.
No, here's why. I have it in my notes. I have copious notes today, and I have one of my notes is Jack Mitchell's tweet. I'm not gonna make fun of Jack, though.
That's an evergreen note, Jack Mitchell's tweet.
Literally, do you want to see it? It's right here. It goes, definitely more of an emotional loss, Jack tweet, : and then that's just my cue to pull up Jack's tweet and read it. Here's my thing, though. Like, this is why a lot of people love Jack Mitchell, because like I think you and I, like, we approach it from a broadcasting standpoint, and we definitely, and I'll just speak on my behalf. I try and approach things from a broadcasting standpoint, but then also try and like mix in, you know, I'm a fan of sports, right? So you try and connect with the people who are fans, right? And so you kind of balance the broadcasting and the fan perspective, right? But so many people love Jack because he just speaks for the fan. He just completely speaks from the heart, completely speaks for, I think Jack is the voice of Husker fans that might consider themselves voiceless.
I use him as a proxy for the fan base.
No, seriously. I think Jack is one of the best litmus tests in terms of, okay.
Oh, that's what the fans are thinking.
Yeah,
about this.
Seriously.
Okay.
And that's why Jack is such a special broadcaster, in my opinion, because he's able to connect to fans way better than a lot of people. And you got to pick your slants. And so I'm going to read Jack's tweet, and the reason why I'm presenting this in this way is I'm not trying to make fun of Jack when we read this tweet. I'm not trying to joke about it. Like, I think when Jack tweets those things about the emotional loss of Berke, that there is a section, maybe even a bigger section than I would want to admit, that feels the way that Jack feels, that this is an emotional loss, to the point where, you know, Jack Mitchell, very tuned in, is being like, pass the hat around, bring Berke back, you know? Like, so we'll talk about that, because there definitely is an emotional loss when it comes to Berke, and which is why I'm going to pose a hypothetical to people.
Love it.
That if you're not a pro sport fan, I don't know if you've ever really experienced this before, and I kind of want it to happen because I think it'd be funny. So we'll talk about Berke. We'll talk about Fedor Zugic. I did a deep dive for us today. We're going to talk about running backs, not in college sports.
RBs.
We're going to talk about the NFL draft a little bit. Talk about running backs in the NFL draft. The hot button topic, I've called this NFL draft because of the lack of quarterbacks and the lack of, you don't have an Amari Cooper, you don't have a Julio Jones, you don't have that top stud, big time wide receiver. You don't have multiple of them at the least. Yeah, I mean, Carnell Tate is a stud in my opinion, but he's not being talked about in that ilk that some of those other big time sexy wide receiver prospects were being talked about. So I've called this kind of a boring draft because it's going to be a lot of D linemen and a lot of offensive linemen. I wouldn't be surprised if we get 20 of the first 32 picks are in the trenches in the first round. I think there's a legitimate shot that 20 of the 32 picks are, maybe even 22 of the 32 picks are edge, D-line, O-line. I mean, that's so, you know, obviously the quality of prospect is still good, but it's not the most exciting draft. I do think, though, there is one conversation about one prospect in particular, a prospect that a lot of people have mocked going to your team, Josh Otson, the Tennessee Titans.
Hello.
So we're going to talk about running backs. We're going to talk about Jeremiyah Love. We're going to talk about should the Titans, the Browns, the Giants, the Commanders, should they all be wary of the past history of first-round running backs over the last, I went back 9 years, Josh Otson. So we'll talk about that. There are a couple things that we didn't get to yesterday that I definitely want to hit on today that are very much still relevant. Ross Dellinger had an article yesterday about eligibility. I have a tweak about this potential eligibility rule that they're going to pass in the NCAA. One tweak. And it's not going to be this isn't going to be a snowball tweak. This isn't going to be one where it's like, we're going to go to court and we're going to try and manipulate it. Just one pretty strict tweak, but I think it needs to be added. And we're also talking about the importance of this rule and why this is probably the most important, arguably the most important thing that the NCAA needs to get done out of everything, out of all of the things that college sports is dealing with, this eligibility issue, which it is an issue, honestly, when we look at Joey Aguilar, or Trinidad Chambliss, all these other, court cases that we're having. This is the one that you need to knock out first. We'll have a conversation about that. And expectations. The double-edged sword of expectations. This is going to be, now, granted, they got to do a little bit more work in the portal now for it to really happen. It seems like Nebraska basketball is going to. At least they're trending in that way from what I'm reading from Robin Washut and our very good friend, Wilson Moore. But it's going to be one of those things where this is going to be a very highly anticipated Nebraska basketball season. And it could be a great thing. Could be a tough thing. We'll talk about that as well. Steve Sipple on at 11 o'clock. Coming up next, we'll have Lauren Michelson on at 1:15. And as always, it's a Thursday, which means this week in women's history, one of our favorites. Great show ahead of you today. Don't go anywhere. Middays with Matt with Stephen M. Sipple coming back around the corner here on the 1620 The Zone Radio Network.
Now, back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Tickets went on sale or currently on sale right now to go to the Big Ten times SEC Volleyball Challenge Week. That will take place at Wrigley Field on September 6th. Nebraska will take on Missouri. It should be a heck of an event, especially in the pregame. As someone who's from there, I can tell you right now, there has never been a better place for Husker Nation to take over than Wrigley Field. Looking at tickets right now, just as a little bit of a PSA, the bleacher tickets are fully sold out through MLB.com and through Wrigley. So if you're going to want to get some bleacher tickets, which probably are the best viewing area for this match, that you'll have to do that through a third-party site. I've gone on StubHub for people here. Currently, right now, bleacher tickets are going for about $142. I do want to mention that it's general admission in the bleachers. So first come, first serve is basically what it says here for Budweiser bleacher tickets. So that's probably your best viewing chance in terms of seeing the actual match. And I also do think, too, that the clubs, it says here on the Cubs ticket area that the clubs, the Catalina Club and the 1914 Club will be open. You probably won't have the best view, but you'll definitely have the best experience in terms of all-inclusive items. So just a little bit of a quick PSA for people who are interested in going to Wrigley Field to watch Nebraska volleyball play on September 6th at 6 o'clock against Missouri. We bring in a very special guest, as always, on Tuesday at 11 o'clock, one of our favorite conversations we have all week. Stephen M. Sipple joins us, Husker Online on 393.7 The Ticket. Sip, you going to be in Wrigley Field, my man?
No. I mean, not that I just the way my work goes. No.
Okay.
No.
But it's a Labor Day weekend. You couldn't.
Football.
Yeah, but you got Ohio. You got the Ohio. I mean, how long is it going to take you to write about the Ohio game? Sip? Come on.
It's not that simple.
What do you mean? What do you mean it's not that simple? Look, Jamal, I'll write your article right now. Jamal Rule looked the part. Williams Nwaneri had an impressive 1.5 sacks. Huskers are going to need it. It wasn't as great of a performance as you were hoping from Dana Holgerson in the offense, but you know what? They won 35-10. Orange's defense looked explosive. Huskers win. We move on. We know that they won't get their first real test until Michigan State. There you go. Am I wrong?
If only it were that easy for me, which never is. I think I overthink everything for one thing. So
that's good.
I should treat it more like that.
You overthinking it makes you one of the best writers in the state. So don't lose that, please. I like you overthinking things because that means I don't have to overthink. You just take that away from me.
I can overthink with the best of them, Matt.
We're going to cut that. We're going to use that for your drop when we make your intro. Are you still in shambles?
No.
Okay.
I pulled out. I did. It took me a week to get out of shambles, but yeah, I'm out of it. I was out of it probably Monday.
Hey, I want to give you the floor here, and you wrote something great this morning, and it's something that I think you can talk to better than honestly maybe anyone in the state. I mean, you especially in media, and you wrote something really touching about Tony Davis, the late great Tony Davis, who passed away on Sunday at the age of 73. He was the first ever 1,000-yard rusher under Tom Osborne as a Nebraska Cornhusker. I'll just kind of give you the floor and some of the memories you have of Tony Davis as a running back at Nebraska.
Well, Matt, I mean, first of all, I appreciate you asking about Tony Davis. I mean, he was a star in the 70s, and I'd say a long forgotten star by a lot of people, especially, younger generation people. But Tony was really important to the program. He was an in-state player. For guys like me, for people like me that grew up in the state, he was the first player I probably idolized. And so I was, he was in the 72 to 75 range. So I was, 6 to 10 years old, and there's a lot of people my age, a lot of young kids, boys my age that fancied themselves to be Tony Davis, grew our hair out. let it come out of the helmet or Pee-wee helmet, tried to run like him. And I was fortunate. It was interesting. One time I told Tony years ago, it was sort of awkward. It was sort of awkward for Tony, not for me, but I said, it's interesting because I idolized you and now I'm a close friend. And it was unique to me. And Tony was an interesting guy. Now he was a fabulous player. He was tough Tony. So, and all that entails, he was mega tough.
Yeah.
Also very thoughtful though. He was a great, and I don't know. One thing I always want to impart on people is that he was a true Husker, in that the reason we were friends is for years he would check in on the program. He went on with another kind of life, but he would check in on it because he truly cared. There was guys like that I kind of stayed in touch with, ex-Huskers over the years, that would just call to ask how it's going and genuinely care and what can I do to help? Can you get me the head coach's number? Those sorts of things. And not because he wanted anything necessarily other than to help. And Tony could be helpful. So yeah, and I always found him to be an interesting guy because he's tough Tony, kind of a jock, but really thoughtful.
Yeah.
And really thoughtful in a couple senses of the word. He was thoughtful in that he was caring, but he was also thoughtful. He thought, he was a thinker.
Yeah.
He was smart, and he always had interesting things to say and observations. And he was a great family man. He loved his kids and grandkids, and Tony was I haven't really fully processed that he's gone.
Well, can I read you? You talk about him being a very thoughtful guy and having very interesting thoughts. Your colleague, Sean Callahan, wrote something today about Tony Davis, and he interviewed Tony for the program, Sean's book, and here's a quote from the book, and I think this is such an interesting thought. You talk about him being a critical thinker and having interesting thoughts, and I want to get your opinion on this. In Sean's book, he said, "You need to get guys who are almost criminal, but you can keep them under control. Those are the kind of people you want on your team. You want those types of players that you have to kill to beat them. If you don't kill them, you're going to get beat because these guys never give up." And it's one of those things where you're kind of taken aback a little bit when he says the word criminal, right? You want guys who are almost criminal, but then you think of the traits he describes, and if you're able to control that and harness that, you're able to win. And I think of a lot of people, who I know who are around that program, yourself included, would kind of agree that those teams who won all of those games had that killer mentality of, if you were going to beat us, you were going to have to kill us. You're going to have to take it from us. What do you think of that quote? And do you think that's something that Nebraska football has been missing during this kind of rough period, this rough stretch of this program?
Yeah, not completely missing. You still get players like that. I don't know. That's Tony. I mean, remember, he played also in the NFL at a high level, team MVP for the Cincinnati Bengals, mostly because of special teams. Violence is inherent in that sport. I mean, you want borderline sociopaths, a few of them at least. And it's helpful. And there's some positions in particular, I'd say it's helpful. I totally agree with Tony. I don't know. I still think people regard it as a violent game. That conversation, like a lot in this society, has been tempered. But Tony was a violent player. He was. And
yeah.
That's how he went about it. That's how he went about it every day in practice. And yeah, you need that. He's exactly right. But again, it's sort of a hard question, or it's a hard conversation, complex, like a lot of football conversations, is you don't want all your players to be that way, I don't think.
Sure. Great point.
You sure don't want your quarterback to be that way.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tough. I mean, I always think of it a little bit more when I talk about, and I say it sort of loosely, the sociopath thing. borderline sociopaths. I really like them on defense. I really like linebackers. They're kind of borderline sociopathic. Like Vontez Burfict probably went a little far, but
Yeah.
he's the kind of guy that comes to mind though. Like guys that are a little scary. And I've covered guys like that at Nebraska. They're a little scary, and that made them what they are. I always remember interviewing. You won't know the name probably because you're young, but a lot of 40-something, 50-something, 60-somethings. I remember Chris Kelsey. He was kind of scary. He was kind of scary to interview.
Yeah.
He had a way about it. I mentioned him because he's not a name that would come readily to people's minds, like Jason Peter, obviously.
Sure.
But Kelsey, he'd wear combat pants and boots, and when you interviewed him, he wasn't always pleasant, And there were guys like that. There were more guys like that back in the day, I'll say, than there are now. That guys where you're almost sort of hesitant sometimes to interview them. But yeah, you always could use guys like that in football, in the sport of football.
We've had a conversation across the station this last week about the schedule, right? The schedule being tough, and there's definitely have been varying opinions. But I don't want to ask you, Steve, if people are hyping up the schedule too much and its difficulty, or if we should be worried about the schedule. I want to ask you this: do you think that we are looking at these games against top teams differently in terms of what the result will be in year 4? Do you think we're thinking of it differently now than we were in year 1? Because in my opinion, and this is why I love conversation with you, correct me where I'm wrong, but I feel like the biggest problem about the schedule is that I feel like when Nebraska would have played Ohio State or Oregon in 2023, we're dreading the game and assuming the result is going to be bad. Just like now in year 4, we're dreading the result and assuming it's going to be bad. And I think that's an indictment in a way. Do you disagree with that?
Yeah. No. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good thought, actually. And it is. That's an interesting thought, actually, because it speaks to, in your opinion, and probably my opinion, a lack of sufficient progress.
Yes.
I mean, that's what we're getting at.
And so
that's a really good way to look at it, because you don't hear too many people going, I think we can get Ohio State.
No.
There is this. You regard those games with you do and I do, and I think most people do regard them. We have to be careful as media that we're sometimes we do this thing where we throw a big blanket over everybody, but
I agree. I do it a lot.
I think you're right, though. I think most people regard the Oregon game, the Indiana game, the Ohio State game, those games in particular, with a sense of dread. Who am I missing? Am I missing a big one in there?
Indiana, Oregon, and Iowa. Would you say we dread Iowa? But that might be a different reason, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, they just won 40-16 on your home field.
Yeah.
And you're going there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a good thought. Hell, it's a compliment. Thank you. It is.
I appreciate that.
I hadn't thought of it that way. I'm telling you, I hadn't thought of it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But it is sort of, it does speak to that broader conversation of, I think some people would agree that there has been progress how could you not agree? Just by record.
I agree.
There has progress in Rule's program over Frost's program, but not enough. If there was enough, we wouldn't have that sense of dread.
Sure. Well, can we add to your column here? Let's add to your column. Please. Is there a potential turning point? Is there a potential benchmark? Is there a potential moment where the lack of progress was evident, or things like we saw something and we go, oh no. Is there a benchmark to you, or a landmark moment?
Yeah. I mean, maybe not precisely a landmark moment, but the last 3 games, particularly Penn State, when they just rammed the ball on the edges. up front. I mean, ran the ball between the tackles and on the edges, and just hammered away at Nebraska in the run game. That was a big problem. I mean, it wasn't the first time. I mean, Michigan did it. Just any game you can think of last year where the run defense faltered. To me, Matt, and it is part of the column, the upcoming column. But much of this conversation is just about that in particular.
Sure.
Just the inability. If there's a team on the schedule, the first thing I look at is how they run it. How do they run? How well do they run it? Do they emphasize? That guy has a blower right here. That's perfect. Do they emphasize the run game? Do they? How effective are they? Is it a physical run game? That's what I look at first, because if that's the case, it's trouble.
Yeah,
like it's just trouble. It's worrisome with those teams on that. Did you watch Oregon last year?
I not enough to be an expert, but I watched them about 3 or 4 different times, and their run game was a little bit different. It was a little bit. I mean, obviously the offensive line was physical, but their running backs had that Pac-12 pop to them. You know, I mean, it was a fast run game.
It was, but they come downhill now. I mean, you watch the game at Iowa when they cranked it up. That's the kind of things that scares me. If Oregon cranks it up like that, good night. It's over.
Sure.
I mean,
sure.
If you can't do anything about that, the rest of it doesn't really matter. All of the talk about Calandria and, this what I think is a very good group of receivers, this emergence of Jamal Rule, that stuff really diminishes if you can't line up and hold in there against the run. If your defense allows 5 yards per carry like it has, you can't. What are you going to do?
Nothing.
I mean, right. So to me, it's become a very specific conversation. Like Nebraska's made some progress. They do have receivers. I like what they did in getting Calandria. I do like the running back group. The offensive line,
a
lot of promise.
Those
big linebackers they got, good.
Yeah.
The 2 guys they brought in from San Diego State and one from Oregon State, Owen Chambliss and Dexter Foster. Those guys look promising. They got some DBs that aren't bad. But how's it going to be up front? Those guys that's what's going to tell the tale.
Yeah, I don't want to say, because you're tempting me to say here that you're saying that Nebraska's one patch away. They're one upgrade on the D line or a better performance than we're expecting them on the D line away from being competitive. But I don't want to put that in your mouth, and I think that there are other things
there's
too.
Other issues.
There's other issues as well. But I think you're right. I mean, they lost to Minnesota just because Minnesota had Darius Taylor in a physical run game. It really didn't matter anything else. They were a way more talented team than Minnesota. They were favored by 9.5 points in that game, and that physical run game shut that out completely.
Well, also they had 9 sacks.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I forget about
Darius
that.
Taylor didn't have any sacks. I mean, Minnesota sacked him 9 times.
I know.
In that game. So.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about Berke Butane Gel. Is this a nature of the beast moment, or is this a man that stinks? Man, that's tough. We don't know what we're going to do. What do you think? It's both. Okay, why so?
Yeah. I mean, I liked him. I liked his game. I know he gets criticized for the way he shot the ball and all that, and I get that. Shot looked pretty, but I don't know what he shot from the 3-point line, but I bet it wasn't over 30%.
No, it was 24%.
There you go. So it looked nice. It looked really nice.
It looked nice, Steve. It did not look nice.
Oh, it did. It looked nice until it left his hand.
What do you mean? That's the main part. When the ball leaves your hand, that's the prettiest part.
No, I'm saying his form looked nice.
Okay.
I liked it.
Okay.
But something got lost in translation from about his nose to his release point. I don't know what the hell happens, but if it's a vision thing, or I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it is. It's just a sign of the times type thing. It's disappointing from the standpoint that he's a core guy.
Yeah.
He's one of those core Sanford, Prager, Decision, Berke. And you just thought, okay. And there's a couple others, Leo, Curtis, and
I agree with
I should
that.
be remiss not to mention. Hold on, Kale Jacobson.
Got to mention Kale.
Core guy. On the other hand, I mean, what Robin's been reporting, Robin Washington, I happen to know an agent, and he knows what was going on, and it was, he was offered. He's going to get offered double, and it's an agent thing.
Wow.
His agent. It's his agent. I mean, that's what we're talking about. His agent plays hardball, and that was it. Fred drew a line. Agent drew a line. Didn't match up. Goodbye, Berke.
Yeah. Kind of love it. I kind of love it from Fred's perspective, if I'm being honest with you. I know it's a tough guy to lose, but at the same time, I don't think he's irreplaceable. And at the same, you can't. I mean, I think there are kind of moments where you do have to draw the line in the sand from a management perspective. I mean, they do it in the NBA all the time. There's a give and take here for sure. There are so many basketball questions I would love to ask you, but I got one more, if you don't mind. One more question for you, and then I'll let you go. If he were to come back and play at Pinnacle Bank Arena, does he get cheered?
Yeah.
Okay.
You mean if he decides to?
No. If he goes to a different team, let's say he goes to USC, and he goes and he plays for USC at Pinnacle Bank Arena, does he get cheered?
Oh God, I don't know. That dynamic is.
I know, right?
My inkling would be no.
Ooh.
No. My inkling would be no. He wouldn't get booed. Is what I'm saying.
Okay,
I don't think he'd get booed. I don't think he'd be outright booed.
Would he be cheered though? Is the question. Would be here's a great example. When they introduce the opposing team and they go, starting forward, blah blah blah, starting, point guard, blah blah blah, and then Berke would come up. Do we do and starting at power forward, Berke, and we give him a home entrance? Do you think that would happen? Do you think there would be cheers for that?
God, he's lovable. I mean, he's became this likable character. That's a tremendous question, because they're not all the same.
No,
it's not all players, coaches are the same. Not all the circumstances that lead to a departure are the same. I don't know. I don't even know what to say on this.
Okay.
It's going to drive me crazy. My guess would be he'd be cheered, not wildly.
Okay. I think this is something that happens a lot in pro sports, and it would really be happening to Cornhusker fans, maybe for the first time. I guess Allie Badenhorst got cheered when she, came back, when she transferred and then she came back. But I don't think it's happened on a men's scale in terms of a transfer portal guy coming back and playing against the Huskers and then having a reaction to that. So I think,
I hope it doesn't sound wrong. I think we've a little more gentle with females than we would with males.
No, I don't think you're wrong in saying that at all.
Yeah.
I don't think you're incorrect. And I think that volleyball crowd is a lot different than the men's basketball crowd. A little more gentle. Yes, I agree with that. I don't think you're wrong in saying that.
PBA is not gentle. PBA is not gentle.
No, not in any regard. Stephen M. Sipple, you're welcome for the column. We expect the check in the mail.
And you're not getting a check, but that is a good idea.
Okay. I can't wait to hear you write about it or read you.
It's possible that Tuesday would be the day for that.
Okay. We'll keep our eyes peeled. You are the best. Thank you so much for coming on every Tuesday at 11 o'clock.
Thank you.
Of course. Husker Online, 93.7 Ticket. We'll hear from you. Come on, Matt. What are you doing? We'll read the column. We're going to talk about that.
Reading the column?
No. Would Berke get cheered? If he came back to Pinnacle Bank Arena and he was playing against the Huskers, would he get cheered?
If he was playing or if he was sitting on the bench?
If he was playing against the Huskers, would he get cheered? I know you're going to say he shouldn't, and it's a no.
I might surprise you with my take.
All right. You know what? I cannot wait to hear your take, and everybody else on the 1620 The Zone Radio Network can't wait to hear your take either. We talk about that coming up next on Middays with Matt.
Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
We'll give you a Masters update here. That is not as good as Chris Vernon's. It's going down at Augusta. It's going down at Augusta. Tony Finau, where you be now, huh?
Okay.
Tony Finau, where you be now, huh?
You're doing like a hip hop
down at
Chris
Augusta.
Berman thing?
Yeah. No, not Chris Berman. Chris Vernon. Vernon.
Oh, Chris Vernon.
He
Okay.
does,
I
that's
thought
what
you
he
said
does on
Chris
Twitter.
Berman.
No. My Chris Berman. Stum. Whoop! Whoop! Eric sleeping with the enemy.
They're gonna trot that guy all over the place for the next 365 days until he gets to work the Super Bowl, and then he'll retire. Hopefully,
that's what Caliendo now does. Where it's just like his Berman is, and of course, no. Quick little Maskers update here. Patrick Reed, everybody's favorite golfer.
Really?
No. 5 under right now through 8. Tommy Fleetwood through 9. 4 under. Akshay Bhatia is 2 under through 8. Our first Sam Stevens. I've heard of Sam Stevens. He's 2 under through 5. Sam Burns 2 under through 10. Shoffley,
Xander,
who's on my card, under 1 through 8. Kurt Kitayama, after a good start, has kind of held serve at 1 under through 12. Let's see. Shane Lowry's under 1 through 9, and then everybody else is kind of even. Rory, even through 7. He's never been the best Thursday starter of all time. Bryson DeChambeau is even through 8. We're just going to go through the big guys here. Adam Scott is 1 over through 1. He bogeyed his first hole. Thanks for doing that, Adam. It's not like I put money on you to finish in the top 10. Colin Morikawa, 1 under through 7. Everybody's most forgettable Masters champion, Danny Willett, is 1 over through 2. Everybody forgets Danny Willett won the Masters.
Yeah, that's
every single year we see the Masters Championship dinner, and they're like, who's that English-looking fellow who keeps losing his hair? That's Danny Willett. Matt Fitzpatrick, who has been a pretty popular pick so far to win the Masters, is 1 under through 8, hasn't made any moves. Jose Maria did it again, where he flirted with everybody, where he gets off to this hot start, and you're like, oh my God, one of the old men are going to make the cut. I want to see Gary Player.
Marathon, not a sprint.
He's 2 over through 16. Still incredibly impressive that Jose Maria is the age that he is, and he's still able to shoot a 74 at Augusta, which is incredible. Charles Schwartzel, 2 under through 14. Pat Cantley, Ryder Cup participant for America, 2 under through 6. Going through more, Keegan Bradley, the captain, 4 under through 10. And that's about it. Angel Cabrera, our friend, +6 through 14. Vijay Singh, +5 through 12. And then Fred Couples is about to tee off at 11:15. Well, he already is teed off. Garcia going to go at 11:27. Jacob Bridgman, his first ever Masters, at 11:27 as well. We are still waiting for Spawn, Ludwig Oberg, Brooks Koepka, Justin Thomas, Ben Griffin, Scotty Scheffler, all to tee off here in the next about hour or so. Scheffler will be the second to last group, along with Gary Woodland and Robert McIntyre, a pretty popular, longer shot to win. Robert McIntyre is that group. Woodland, Scheffler, McIntyre, the last feature group, will tee off at 12:44. There is your Masters update with our leader, Patrick Reed, who's 5 under through 8, with Tommy Fleetwood 4 under through 8 as well. Let's go ahead and let's talk about Berke Butendahl. I asked the question to Steve Sipple. He could not answer it to me. If Berke Butendahl went to a different team, and he came back and he played at Pinnacle Bank Arena, would he get cheered? I agree with Sip. He would not get booed. He would not get cussed out. If he had a third year at Nebraska, so let's say he played 3 years at Nebraska and he had the role that he had of the Sweet 16 team, I think he for sure would get cheered. 2 years is a little bit different. I want to hear your answer, Josh Hodson. Would he get cheered at Pinnacle Bank Arena if we were to come back and play against the Huskers?
I have a clarifying question.
Okay.
Is he wearing Creighton blue?
No.
Yes, he would get cheered.
Okay.
as he should be.
Now,
Everyone that was a part of this past team, it's a little like the 2016 Cubs, where you're just
you got to cheer. You got to clap.
You walk on water forever because you were a part of it.
I think that let's just say he plays 1 year elsewhere, like when they do all the reunions, he will get very loud cheers. If you were to come back and let's say a USC uniform in the Big Ten and play against the Huskers in Pinnacle Bank Arena, he gets cheered. Yeah. I don't think there's any
maybe
doubt.
In Iowa, if he goes to Iowa, maybe it's a little different.
I think there are some people who would definitely push back against that and say, I'm not cheering for him. He left us. Okay.
Sure.
But
It'll be that way in every family.
But I do think that a majority of people would say, hey, massive part, played incredible against Vanderbilt. Like if he doesn't play the way that he did against Vanderbilt, they don't make it to the Sweet 16. I think that just his journey too, as a guy who was pretty unlikable in year one, if we're being honest, to being a fan favorite to the point where people are emotional about him leaving, is quite the journey. If we're being honest, it's quite the story.
Do they need to break the bank to keep him here?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
You can find 6 points and 5 rebounds in the parking lot.
Now, here's the thing, though. You can't find somebody who knows the defensive system as well as he does, and that defensive system is about teamwork, connectivity, and communication. And to lose one of those core guys who holds all that knowledge, right? It's a little bit like Dune. Once you lose a storyteller, it's pretty bad. We can't lose our storytellers.
6'10", 7 feet, whatever you want to call it, is also hard to find.
It's also fairly, but like you can find
it's out there.
There was one comment about people thought he was Rodman and he wasn't Rodman. It's totally right. He did kind of get treated like the Rodman Dennis Rodman might be one of the more underrated basketball players of all time, for being honest. Five NBA championships, he wasn't part of one dynasty. He was a part of that
WWE Hall of Famer.
WWE Hall of Famer getting inducted in. Yeah, I do think you lose a little bit of connectivity on defense and you lose some of that versatility on defense, which they definitely did count on, and his aggressive rebounding ability was great too. But if we're doing a power ranking of where does he fit in terms of the most replaceable players, like I don't think he's less replaceable than Sam or Rink. Like I think that it's more important to replace those guys, and I think it might be harder to replace those guys. All right. So I think that's the easy question. Okay. This will throw Husker fans for a loop, though, because I don't think Husker basketball fans and I don't think Husker athletic fans have ever experienced this. Hypothetical. Berke comes back, plays, USC playing Nebraska at Nebraska. Comes back. It's the under 16 media timeout. Do we cut to the Jumbotron? Do-do-do-do. 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 Another turning point. And then we have a Berke Buchton Gel welcome back Jumbotron video.
Where they play Connor Happer's song?
No. But this is how it would go. They would do that song, another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. And then there would be like a, Berke, like, walking around on the court, cinematic shots, right? And then once you get to the first verse, they'd like lower down the music a little bit, and you would hear Kent go, and Buchton Gel slams it down, right? And the music would be going around in the background. Then all of a sudden, it's like they have a funny clip of Berke. He's like, I'm Captain March Madness. And he's like being silly and everything like that. And then they like cut to like him doing more highlights. And then all of a sudden you hear Fred, right? And Fred would be like, Berke is one of our most important players. We wouldn't be here without him. And the energy and the culture that he brings is incredible. And then they cut to, him with the bloody mouth and everybody cheers and everything like that. Do we get a welcome home Berke video if he were to come back?
Ooh.
Do we get that moment where
it is school dependent,
where JD is announcing the point guard, USC, Alex English, shooting guard from USC, blah, blah, blah. And that power forward from Turkey, Berke Buchton Gel. Like, does he get the special announcement from JD from the
I don't think
players,
you can do
from
that.
the PA. Oh, you can't give him the
I don't-
special announcement.
Nope. I think
If you
gotta-
don't give him the special announcement, he
play
doesn't get the
cold.
welcome back video.
I think if he goes in conference and comes back, like it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to make a video for someone in conference, right? Like it's got to be a non-con game.
Ooh. So you're saying that if he joins like an ACC team or like a team that's not in the Big Ten, he does get a video. But if he joins a conference team, no video for Berke.
Because you can't have guys.
Ooh, this is fascinating.
You can't have guys on the drive home who are just a little more casual, don't necessarily know ball, going, can't believe they made a video for it. Can't believe they made a video for a Penn State guy.
Well, that's the thing. Here's the thing. Like Mike and Margaret, who have only ever watched college sports their entire lives, who don't.
Those are your parents.
Who don't know Martha.
Oh yeah.
Who only watch college sports their entire lives, who don't pay attention to pro sports, would be like, what in the F is this? This guy doesn't play on our team anymore. Why don't we make a video for every player on our team? They're still here. That's what they would say, right? But I'll tell you this right now. I would consider myself a pro in tribute videos. Okay.
Oh,
because do you know how many great Chicago sports?
Sure. They always leave and come back. Oh my gosh. Popcorn. Fans of the Connor Happer Show will know popcorn throat.
Sorry, I'm not old enough to get used to clicking the cough button.
It's okay, I got you. Now it's not popcorn lung. I want to be very crystal clear when I say that it's popcorn throat, not popcorn lung that Matt is afflicted with right now.
Kernel in my throat. Sorry. Anyway,
take a swig of that beer. You'll be fine.
It's not a beer. It's my coffee water. I was making a great point. I'm a pro in tribute videos because there are so many Chicago superstars who get traded. I was there for Jimmy Butler. I was there for Derrick Rose. I was there for Taj Gibson. All right. Like I was there for those tribute videos. It's tough. I was there for the Dexter Fowler welcome back. Okay. He was playing for the Cardinals. It's one of those things where I'm very good at this. I don't know. I think it's very funny of you to be like, what team does he go to? It goes to Iowa, get the hell out of here. Goes to Creighton, get the hell out of here. But if he goes to even if he goes to a middling Big Ten team where it's not even a rival, I don't know. But I think a Berke.
Okay, yeah. If he goes to Rutgers,
who cares? Who cares?
Yeah. Who
right?
cares?
Right? I just think now.
If he
I'm
goes
not,
to UCLA,
I want to make it very clear. I'm not for or against a video. Okay. I don't have an opinion. I don't really care. I just think it would be really funny if it were to happen and all the people who aren't used to it would be like, what the hell is going on? But at the same time, very key part in the most important team, best team of all time for Nebraska men's basketball. Be very, I love putting that hypothetical out there because I think it's fun. I think there would be differing opinions. I think you're totally right.
Hypothetical.
I think there would be a lot of people who would be like, absolutely not. And I think there'd be some people like Jack Mitchell who'd be like, oh my God, my Berke. Baby, come back. Berke, come back. Come back to where you belong.
That's the Jack Mitchell.
Berke, come back.
Yep.
Come back, Berke. Berke, come back. Please come back to Middays with Matt after this break to listen to more Masters and the odd news. Coming up next on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
Lunchtime. Hot dogs. Spearman. Josh Odson.
Kids like them extra sloppy. How we doing? We doing good? You good today?
I'm waiting for the music. I
How's
was
your
just waiting
throat?
for the right. My throat's good. My throat is clear.
Good.
My throat is ready and prepared.
All right.
Give me the odd news.
We've got a baseball anomaly
Whoa!
to talk about on a chilly Tuesday evening in Maine. 35 degrees at first pitch.
It's incredible what you don't know about a sport you've played your entire life.
The New Hampshire Fisher Cats. That's the AA affiliate of the Blue Jays. I know you knew that, Matt, but some people in the audience might not.
I only know that from MLB The Show. If you know, you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They scored 10 runs on one base hit in the top of the second inning against the Portland Sea Dogs.
I'm sorry. I almost had another Colonel attack. They scored 10 runs on one hit.
One hit. How rare is it? Well, in the expansion era since 1961, no major league team has ever scored more than 4 runs.
My God!
Without getting its first hit.
Well, yeah, because they're good at baseball.
Yes. This was something. It went It went walk, walk,
Error.
wild pitch.
Oh, wow.
K.
Really?
Sack fly.
Wait, they did this with 2 outs? You did walk, wild pitch, K, sack fly.
That's right.
They hadn't scored, so they scored 9 runs on one hit with 2 outs.
With 2 outs.
Good Lord.
The half inning lasted 31 minutes. Again, it went walk, wild pitch, strikeout, sack fly, walk, hit by pitch, wild pitch, walk, hit by pitch, wild pitch, walk, wild pitch, single, strikeout.
There wasn't an error? There wasn't a singular error?
No.
It was all walks? How many pitchers who's the pitching coach of that? He's fired.
8 walks, 2 hit batsmen, 4 wild pitches.
He's fired. My pitching coach is fired. My pitching coach is moved. That guy's supposed to be the director of player development for my pitchers. He's supposed to be getting my guys ready for the next level, and they just scored 10 runs on us with no errors, 8 walks, and 1 hit. Fired.
Yeah.
Removed. What's our second story? That's crazy.
You're familiar with the movie with Sydney Sweeney, The Housemaid?
Yeah. I thought you were going to say Madam Webb.
No, she was in that though.
She was one of the worst movies
she was
ever.
Supposed to branch off to her own thing that's never going to happen. But anyway, are you familiar that The Housemaid is a series of books?
Now I am.
Okay. The person who wrote those books was named Frida McFadden.
Okay, Frida.
Nobody knew who that was. It was a pseudonym.
Oh, like Bridgerton, right? Isn't there kind of like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just
you're okay. Don't worry.
I trust you.
Shoot at the hip.
The Frida McFadden, quote unquote, revealed herself to the American people yesterday.
Was it Sydney Sweeney?
No, her real name is Sarah Cohen, a doctor from New York who treats brain disorders.
Okay. That's pretty crazy. What's The Housemaid about? Because all Connor Happer told me it was about Sydney Sweeney's upper mid body.
I believe that is all it's about, but
okay.
I guess we could pull up like a log line from the movie here real quick. Hoping for a fresh start, a young woman becomes a live-in maid for a wealthy couple who harbor sinister secrets.
Okay. All right, cool. Good for that woman. That's kind of cool. Maybe they make a Netflix documentary about her or something. Real quickly, our final story for the odd news.
It's local. It's a truck spill of the week.
Oh, hey now.
We go to Lincoln County, Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
Which is not Lancaster County, where Lincoln is. It's Lincoln County.
Okay, good to know.
Do you want to guess what has been spilled across the roads?
Wine.
No, it is.
Monkeys.
I want to get right. Gummy bears.
Jeez.
Nebraska deputies called to a semi full of gummy bears had caught on fire
Okay.
on I-80.
First off, that's dangerous with the amount of energy and sugar that is in gummy bears.
That's right.
You set a gummy bear on fire. There was a Mythbusters experiment where they did that. There was also a Bill Nye the Science Guy experiment where they did that. The energy is crazy. Gummy bears overrated. Probably the biggest overrated candy of all time. I still don't know why. I don't know why people would buy it. I don't know why
Caller
people
Damon
would.
on line
Nope,
1.
nope. Gummy bears are so overrated. So overrated. I've never had a gummy bear. I'm like, wow, I want 25 more of these. I don't get it. I don't find them tasty. I find them more chewy and the texture's terrible. Fight me. Fight me.
Whoa,
All right.
okay.
Coming up next, the NCAA's putting up a fight. We'll tell you what that is here on Middays with Matt.
Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
You know, I think there's a science and art to creating a really good stand-up comedy, whether it be special or tour name, you know?
A lot of them are terrible.
Right? Eddie Murphy, Heat. John Mulaney, New Kid in Town. Right? What is it? Sebastian Maniscalco was like, what's wrong? Like, Sebastian Maniscalco, what's wrong with people? You know?
Mm-hmm.
What's, Kevin Hart had like, Kevin Hart, what now? Or Kevin Hart, something, I don't know, something to that degree. I like this one from Nate Bargatze. Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. That's a good one. I can rock with that. Saturday, April 25th. He's coming to the CHI Health Center here in Omaha.
That's the big house.
You can listen all week to win Sportsmanlike Conduct for a chance to win your way to the show. Double your chances, by the way, too. And you can enter online at 1620thezone.com for a chance to win. So get yourself 2 chances to go to Nate Bargatze on April 25th. 1620thezone.com and listening, as always, to win Sportsmanlike Conduct. And Josh and John will provide you an opportunity to win tickets. There's an opportunity for 92 men right now to win the Masters over in Augusta, Georgia. Here is your Masters update. Patrick Reed, bogey on 10. So he is now 4 under on the 11th. Also on the 11th hole is Tommy Fleetwood. He is 3 under. Okay, officially, I don't know who this person is.
Whoa.
First off, I'm not like I would say I'm a casual plus golf fan. Casual plus. I'm above a casual golf fan, but I'm definitely I'm not watching, the Valero Texas Open and the Houston's Children's Championship. But I do know who's winning.
Riveting television.
Right. I've watched a little bit of the Genesis. I definitely watched the Pebble Beach program, and I try and watch the players, and I watch every major. So therefore, casual plus. Christopher Rattan. He's 91st in the FedEx Cup standings. He's earned $513,000, 6'1", 183 pounds from Oslo, Norway.
Whoa, that is not how I thought it was be spelled.
Christopher, how would I say that? Rattan?
No, I believe you got it correct.
Rattan. Christopher, by the way, that's a powerful name to write Christopher. You kind of say it like Tony Soprano says it. Christopher.
Kristoffer.
When you kind of say it like Tony, hey, Christopher.
46th in the world.
Okay. So he's around. He's 3 under through 14. Christopher is. Behind him is Sam Burns, who's tied for second.
This is his first Masters.
Akshay Bhatia. And how about this? Birdie start for your favorite, for our favorite, everybody's favorite. Fred Couples, 2 under through 2.
Freddie Couples
is 2 under through 2. I can watch that guy swing irons all day. Him and Tom Watson.
How young is Freddie Couples?
Freddie Couples
is 66. I would have guessed way older.
Really?
He's been around so long in my life.
That's a good point. He's really only been old man Fred for me, really. I mean, first ever Matt. See, I'm gonna date myself here. I enjoy doing this. Sometimes sometimes I shouldn't. But the first Masters I truthfully remember was 2010. Phil Mickelson, 16 under. I think that was his last green jacket. I think that was his final green jacket was at 2010. Not at the Masters. It's the first time since 1994 or something like that, since Phil Mickelson and both Tiger Woods haven't been in the Masters. So Rory McIlroy, though, trying to defend his title, 1 under through 8. The top 10 finishes out with Brian Campbell, and then Nicholas Hogard, Rye, Shane Lowry. One of our top amateurs, Ethan Fang, is 1 under through 9. Always love what they do with the amateurs at the Masters. And then we have a lot of big names that are kind of just holding serve. DeChambeau is even. Henley's even. Homa's even. Danny Willett, former Masters champion. He's even through 4. Zach Johnson is 1 under through 5. Hideki Matsuyama is 1 over through 9. Colin Morikawa 2 over through 9. Cantley's 2 over through 7. And we're kind of getting to the bottom of the list here. Keegan Bradley, Captain America, 4 under through 12. Not a great start. Still to tee off. Chris Goddard trying to get her down. Jordan Spieth, Brooks Koepka, Justin Rose, Justin Thomas, Sepp Straka, Ben Griffin, Scotty Scheffler, Harris English, Robert McIntyre, all waiting to tee off at the Masters. Day 1 of the Masters here. We got a lot of Masters bets. I'm in a Masters pool. Always a fun time to enjoy. This is, I'm not really fully dialed in right now to the, we're kind of just half watching, but once Saturday and Sunday. Oh, I just left the stream on accident. We do go to the Prairie Flowers Casino Zone text line, 402-951-1620. If you want to get us on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline, call or through text. Our favorite guy, John, texted in. He goes, "What's up with JJ Spawn? What's he doing? Wouldn't you like to know, Wonder Boy? Wouldn't you like to know, John? John's been talking some ish. Been talking some ish about me on the other shows. I see the text messages from the previous shows, John. And what you've been saying about us. You can look it up yourself, John. All right? Look up what JJ Spawn is doing yourself. We'll also give some McMaskers matchup updates tomorrow as well. But the Masters going on right now. Let's talk a little NCAA. Let's talk a little committees. Let's talk some proposals. Let's talk about them trying to solve some of the problems that so desperately need to be solved. I think the top issue that needs to be solved when it comes to the NCAA, there's a lot of them, okay? But I think the first one at least that comes to mind is eligibility. When are you eligible? When are you ineligible? What are the rules, right?
How old are these people?
How old are they? When do you enter the draft? Can you come back? Can you not come back? When do you give up your eligibility? What can you get extensions, waivers, red shirts? What is the deal here? This is what they need to figure out, because if we don't have eligibility rules, then college sports become semi-pro sports, right? We don't have eligibility rules, and we could just have all these 25-year-olds and 26-year-olds and former draft picks and all these guys who have already had their shot at being college athletes. If we just have no rules whatsoever, college sports become semi-pro sports. And how many semi-pro sports do you really watch? Let's be real. Let's have an honest conversation. How many minor league sports do you watch? Are you
Storm Chasers?
Okay. Yes, but we're in a
Postponed today, doubleheader tomorrow.
We're in a AAA city. Obviously, you go to the Omaha Storm Chasers. It's a great time to go to Warner Park, one of the best venues around here in Omaha. But I'm talking about I can't tell you the last time I watched an Iowa Cubs AAA game. Right? You're a hockey fan.
Yes.
Have you watched the AHL team that the Seattle Kraken puts their prospects in at all?
No.
We don't. Minor league sports.
Wouldn't even know how if I wanted to.
Minor league sports aren't very popular in America because, number one, you don't have a connection to the team like you do the college, right? Mm-hmm. You didn't play for that team. You didn't attend that team's university.
I did not play for the Storm Chasers.
No, I did not attend Chicago Wolves University. Okay,
could have. You could have.
No, I couldn't have. Get out of here. I attended Nebraska though, so you have that pride there, and I think there obviously is the charm and beauty and the emotion that is built from viewer to player when you see a young man or a young woman go from being an 18-year-old, a high school student, to maturing and growing into an elite athlete, right? And when you just don't have any eligibility rules and you allow anybody to come through, and you have guys who are 7-year college basketball players, you have dudes who already entered the NBA draft, you whittle down the pool. It was a great quote today from Sean Callahan in his article, his rundown today, where he's like, look, these eligibility rules, because of the lack of rules and the fact that you have the transfer portal and the unlimited transfers and the all these older guys, in Sean's estimation, high school recruiting has eliminated or high school recruits have been whittled down their roster spots to 30 or 40%. There's a 30 to 40% decrease for roster spots for high school players, right? And so when you eliminate those roster spots for high school players, you eliminate that emotional connection. You eliminate more of those great scores. I mean, guys, why did Sam Hoiberg get one of the biggest cheers that people has ever heard at Pinnacle Bank Arena for his senior day? Why was he such a fan favorite? Yeah, obviously it's the last name and he's the coach's son, but there's also, he was here for 5 years. You saw Sam go from being a guy who couldn't even be on the travel roster of the basketball team to one of the most integral parts of the greatest Nebraska basketball team of all time. You create that connection. When we don't have eligibility rules and you're allowing these guys to be mercenaries and, have unlimited transfers and play for 7 years on 4 different teams, you eliminate that emotion and you eliminate kind of that character, human, personal development. And that's the beauty of college sports. The beauty of college sports is that there's just a greater sense of pride in terms of the team that you're watching because you attended that university and you walked the campus that these athletes are walking. So if you don't have eligibility rules and you're allowing anybody with a pulse to just come in and play, and you're just letting all these 7-year seniors and 8-year seniors just play and take away those spots, you become closer to minor league semi-pro than you do college sports. And that's the charm of it. And so the NCAA is trying to propose a rule. You get 5 years to play 5 seasons. No red shirts, nothing like that. Now, in Dellinger's article, he doesn't talk about a one-time transfer rule. He just specifically says you get 5 years to play 5 seasons from the time of your 19th birthday or when you graduate high school, whatever comes first. Okay, so you get 5 seasons to play. So essentially, you're cutting down on the 25-year-old, 26-year-old, 27-year-old, maybe even. We've seen that in college football, senior from playing. And this is and one of the key quotes here from Dellinger's article is that he writes this, that it's considered to be a urgent matter. So much so that this is something that could be implemented next year in the fall of 2026. And now, so the committee is going to meet next week and explore a new age-based standard for athletes. And this apparently has been in the works for a little bit now, but it's finally being shown the light. And like I said, 5-year window, either your 19th birthday or when you graduate high school. I think this is great, right? We make the rules clear. We eliminate the ability to have these Charles Bediacos and the James Najees and the retroactive medical red shirts with Trinidad Chambliss and the JUCO rule and all that stuff. You make it a clear, concise, hey, this is it.
Sorry you broke your leg 3 times, but maybe that's somebody telling you not to play anymore.
All right. That's my one tweak, though.
Okay, interesting. Go ahead.
1 medical red shirt.
Oh, okay. I'd be okay with that.
You get 1. Make it strict, though. Like, I would make it very strict. Like a true, hey, you got hurt. And now, I don't know if I want to go as strict as being like, if you play 1 game, no more medical red shirt, right? If you're in basketball and you play 4 games against, nobody and then you end up on a freak accident breaking your leg, you didn't have a season. You didn't play a season. Maybe we'd be a little flexible there. But I'm like, keep it tight. Keep it tight. We got to tighten this stuff up. But I would give 1 medical red shirt because injuries happen and it's terrible. And I definitely think that when athletes get injured like that, they deserve, hey, you deserve another year. No, you don't get it twice, though. So to your point, when you got 3 or 4 medical red shirts, yeah, maybe that's your body telling you that you can't, unfortunately. And it just happens to a lot of people. You just can't keep up with this action. Maybe it's better for you that you don't continue to go through these hardships after hardship. Maybe. And I'm not trying to put a label.
Maybe you get into sports broadcasting instead.
Maybe. But that's 1 tweak I would make. I think this is great. You set up the rules. Go, hey, this is it. 5 years. This is how we keep college sports. Keep college sports by limiting it. Really, you keep college sports by limiting it to 18 to 23-year-olds, to 19 to 24-year-olds. This is how you keep college sports. This is how you stop college sports from becoming this semi-pro minor league opportunity for people who couldn't make it to the pros could go and get a buck. This is how you keep the charm. This is how you keep the emotion. This is how you keep the game the game. right? There's a very funny saying. We've lost the game, right? We've lost the point. We've lost the plot. We've lost the plot of college sports. College sports was about developing players and developing young men and young women into adults and having that path. And we always had a connection and an emotion attached to those players that we saw literally grow up in front of our eyes. It was a beautiful thing. It's what made this sport the sport. We've lost the plot because of money, because of unlimited transfers, because of all of the other hubbubaloo that has gone on the last couple of years. This keeps the main thing, which is making that connection, watching the sports, enjoying the sports, having pride in your school as both an athlete and as a fan, but while also not allowing college sports to become something that is unwatchable, which, I don't want to watch semi-pro basketball. I don't want to watch minor league basketball. If I did, I would watch the G League, And when you allow former draft picks in, it's one of those things where it's like, oof. Now, here's the funny thing. I wonder what, you never know. What happens if Creighton or Nebraska do acquire a former draft pick that never went and played an NBA game? A guy that got drafted.
Then it's fine.
Then it's fine? You think we're totally fine here?
Yeah. Let him play. Don't deny him his right to make a living.
How much do you think that would actually be the flip for either fan base?
A very, very minute segment of each fan base.
But I do think there would be people would be like, yeah, it's okay.
Everybody else is doing it.
Everyone else is doing it. I think my stance would be you got to do what you got to do. I don't think you should be allowed to do that, but if no one's stopping you. Like, that was the interesting thing about, like, Matt Rule saying with Kyle Crooks over in that. I will never forget that, man. The Husker, it kind of, I don't know if it went under the radar. I guess I'm not going to allow it to go under the radar, where Kyle was, like, talking about tampering, and Rule's like, tampering doesn't exist. Now I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, that's just how it is. Like, his point was like, what do you mean tampering? Everybody's tampering. If everybody's tampering, we're not punishing people, then there's no such thing as tampering. It's just how the game is played. And I'm going to be frank with you. I agree wholeheartedly. I would be pissed at Matt Rule if we see all these stories of these teams tampering and contacting players, and them, all these other teams are breaking the rules, but they're not getting in trouble and they're getting better players. And you're like, what? You're not doing it? Okay, good on you for being moral, but, like, you got to win, man. And if everybody else is doing it and you're getting passed up because you aren't doing what's a part of the game, that's on you, And so I kind of, we can have a is it right, is it wrong argument, but if everybody else is cheating, it's not cheating anymore. And if let me put it this way. If everybody else is cheating and everyone knows everybody is cheating and nobody's getting punished about it, then there's been a precedent set that's kind of just how the game is played. So that's kind of how, if Creighton or Omaha or Nebraska were to get a former NBA draft pick who never played in the NBA, if they were to render their services, I would go, look, I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't think they should be allowed to do it, but if they are allowed to do it, then they're allowed to do it. Let's talk about somebody who did have some eligibility issues. Fedor Zugic entered the transfer portal for Creighton men's basketball. If you are a Creighton Blue Jay fan and you love Blue Jay basketball, I encourage you to go to our radio replay from yesterday with our interview with John Walker, the Omaha World Herald. John dropped some tidbits, baby. I haven't heard John talk like that, where he was sprinkling some things. He was sprinkling some fairy dust in that interview. And one of the things he brought up yesterday was, he's like, I'm not going to tell you, but I anticipate somebody from Creighton is going to enter the transfer portal. I'm not going to tell you who, but I anticipate somebody's going to enter the transfer portal. I think we found out. 007, Fedor Zugic, enters the portal. I was excited for Fedor this offseason because his last two off seasons have been kind of stained, or I think the better way of putting it, there's been this dark cloud of eligibility hanging over his head of, hey, are you actually going to be able to play or not? Now, if you remember, Fedor Zugic didn't play his first game until December of not this season, but the season before. And then still heading into this offseason, there was still kind of that cloud of, is he going to be able to play? And now that's been established, that's been ironed out, I was excited to see, with that not looming over Fedor's head, how is he going to take steps? How is he going to improve? Knowing that, hey, I'm for sure playing college basketball this season. And I think there were times, like you look at Fedor's stats, they're not impressive. Under 6 points per game, 38% 3-point shooter, 38% field goal percentage, and then a 30% 3-point shooter. He was just.
You can find that in the parking lot.
It's just not
I'll be fair and balanced.
There was not very impressive. Now, when Fedor was on, though, like when Fedor was on and Fedor was controlling the pace, and when he was controlling the half court, and he, especially at the end of his first year, was starting to look comfortable in Greg McDermott's system, there was something there. There was a spark there.
Flashes.
There were major flashes. Now, credit to Mac. There would be times where it's like, Fedor doesn't have it today. 6 minutes. We're done. Which is why I think he only averaged like 14 minutes per game during his time at Creighton. He played
11.9.
Was 11.9 minutes per game.
Yeah.
I didn't write that down here. That's my fault. But still, 5.2 points, 38% from the field, 30% from three. I was excited to see what might have happened with him with a full offseason without the cloud of eligibility over his head. See you later, Fedor Zugic.
We hardly knew ye.
We knew him a little bit. Did play in over 50 games for Creighton. It never panned out. It's interesting to see like the reactions between players leaving for Creighton and leaving for Nebraska this season. Where it's like one guy leaves for Nebraska, and we're like, oh no! Berke, come back. Come back, Berke. Berke, come back. Don't listen to what your agent says. Berke, come back. Please, please stay. Hey. And then Fedor enters the portal. You're like, all right, whatever. By then, the parking lot. Went through all this trouble to get you eligible. And now you're not here anymore. Still, though, really good pickup for Creighton in the portal yesterday. Oswin Aramwunse, the Providence power forward, was tied with Zuby Ejiofor last year with blocks per game in the Big East. Definitely an inside presence needed for the Blue Jays, who still have to do plenty of work. Definitely have to. For now, who's playing point guard on Creighton right now?
Could be you.
Austin Swartz, though, is coming back. That definitely is a candidate. We saw Swartz at times. Austin Swartz had a very interesting season where, remember, I forget what game it was specifically, but he dropped like 28 points. And we had an assistant coach on Blue Jay Overtime. And I always thought that Swartz was one of those guys that kind of went under the radar in terms of transfer acquisitions last season because he was coming from a bad Miami team. And so, hearkening back, it definitely was Dix was number one. Then it was Freeman. Then you go, wow, Blake Harper, MEAC, freshman player of the year. He could be very talented here for the long haul. Then I think it went Nick Graves because there also was that kind of interesting connection that he played with Bryce Williams, right, at Charlotte. And it was like, Bryce Williams had this great 2 years with Nebraska. Now they kind of got his understudy at Charlotte or Creighton. I wonder what he's going to do. He's a guy who can push the pace, and be a dynamic scorer, which would be a really good fit next to Josh Dix. And then a little bit under the radar, it was like, oh, Austin Swartz is here. We saw moments where Swartz would just stuff the stat sheet. And remember, like I was saying, he dropped 28 points. We had an assistant coach on. And I go, you see this coming? like you see this coming? Does this surprise you at all? And the response was, no, there are moments where we thought he was the most talented player on this basketball team. At the same time, though, there were moments where Austin Swartz would kind of disappear and he would become more of a liability on defense and he would become a weapon on offense. And so I still think, and I'll hold true to this, like there's, even with all these guys leaving Creighton and entering the transfer portal, there's still plenty of talent on this Creighton basketball team. There's plenty of offensive talent. They just need to get a point guard for sure now that Fedor's gone. Probably another big, and then maybe another spacer. I don't know if It's just a lot. It's a lot to add. It's a lot to add in one offseason. It's a lot of pieces to bring together all at once, especially under, a brand new head coach and Alan Huss. At the same time, though, still got talent, and clearly, man, you still got some cash to play with. I mean, that I don't think. Now, I don't know anything in terms of payments, but you got to think a guy like Oswin, who we've talked about it, incessantly. Big men, rim protectors, guys who are over 6'10", dudes who can protect the glass, who can clean the glass rather. Like those guys are going for a lot of money. So he was the 15th ranked transporter prospect according to USA Today, 102nd on 24/7 Sports. Oswin was very interesting. Contrast between those two sites. Regardless, though, still pretty good pickup for Creighton. We've talked a lot about the transfer portal. Let's go ahead. I want to talk about the NFL draft. Okay. I know that we're a college sports town. I know we're a college basketball town. I know it's a college football town. But I think this conversation, I was doing a deep dive. I was being a sicko. And I was doing a little homework, and it turned into more homework, and it turned into even more homework. And then it turned into, good God, what are we doing here when it comes to running backs in the NFL draft? We have that conversation coming up next year on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.
Now, back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Alrighty. I might need somebody to text in and tell me, because I hate it when this happens, when you're in a group chat and somebody says something out of context and you're like, what is he talking about? But I can't find anything on Twitter.
All right.
My buddy texted me, no, Bryson, not this way.
Oh,
Did Bryson get hurt? I can't find anything on Twitter. I mean, he's currently just even through 11 right now. Now his score hasn't updated in a little bit. Currently at the top of the leaderboard for the Masters, 4 under is Patrick Reed. Sam Burns, though, having a very good first day, had an eagle at 2, followed up by a bogey at 6, birdie at 8, and then birdie back to back on 12 and 13 for Mr. Sam Burns. Shane Lowry, the Irishman, trying to get his very good friend Rory McIlroy to put the green jacket on him this year. He had a great quote last year when he was in contention heading into Sunday, but he had a really bad end to Saturday. And they started asking him questions about Rory. He goes, I'm not going to answer any questions about Rory. I'm still trying to win a green jacket too. Like I kind of love, he was fired up Irishman. He's currently in third, 3 under through 13. Tommy Fleetwood has fallen off a little bit, bogey 10 and bogey 12 for Mr. Fleetwood. The father of Frankie Fleetwood is probably the best way to call it. Rory McIlroy, the defending champion, 2 under, and probably the story of the day so far. Freddie Couples turning back the clock, birdie 1 and 2 through 4, still 2 under, still in 4th place. Freddie is right now in round 1 of the Masters. We are nearing the end where everybody has kind of teed off. We are waiting, though, for defending champion Jordan Spieth. We're waiting for a man who's trying to get that one coveted trophy that he hasn't been able to get. Brooks Koepka is going to be with him at 12:20. I mean, the feature group of the day is Spieth, Koepka, Rose, all teeing off at 12:20, which means they probably have already teed off here, but it hasn't updated on my app. Justin Thomas with Sepp Straka and Ben Griffin going to tee off right about now. And then our final featured group will be Robert McIntyre, Gary Woodland, and Scotty Scheffler. So the field almost entirely out there. Our boy, our pick, our stallion, Ludwig Oberg, par on his first hole. So we are, can Ludwig close it out? Can you do it? He hasn't been able to do it in the past. Will he do it at the Masters? He's always been great. I mean, Ludwig Oberg is built to win the Masters. If he goes his entire career without winning the Masters, I will be surprised. Put that on the list. At one, this is on the USC list. Ludwig Oberg at some point in his career will win the Masters. Great iron striker, great around the green, straight off the tee. He's going to do it. Will it be this year? We will find out. But currently right now, Patrick Reed and Sam Burns 4 under to lead the Masters. The NFL draft is right around the corner. Something that I used to bet on that was stupid. I've only done it once, so Mike, you can credit me for no longer doing this. I'm responsible. I bet on the NFL draft last year.
okay.
Like I really did a ton of research and was all in on the draft. Like I'm kind of all in on the draft every year. And I thought I knew where guys were going to go. And I bet way too much money predicting what teams were going to do. And I lost not a lot of money, but it wasn't nothing.
You felt silly afterwards.
I felt like a dumbass.
like, oh, why would I bet on this?
You know, like I was like, I'm not in the room. I don't know how Joe Shane is thinking. I don't think Giants fans know how Joe Shane is thinking. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, why am I spending $50 on this? And there's a reason why all the odds are super high.
Mm-hmm.
I will not be betting on the NFL draft this year because even the experts are like, after Fernando, we don't know what's going to happen. I think at this point, it's pretty solid that the Jets will go with Arvell Reese at number 2. And then it seems like the Cardinals, who are just tanking for 27 at this point in terms of the quarterback draft, are going to go with David Bailey. From that point out, it will be, who knows? It'll be a crapshoot. And I think the most interesting thing, I called this earlier a pretty uninteresting draft. And the reason is because typically those positions that you freak out about don't have the top prospects, right? Quarterback being one of them. We have 2 really good wide receiver prospects, in the first round. Now, Omar Cooper is a guy from Indiana who's definitely trended being taken in the first round. It's so funny to me. I was listening to Albert Breer compare Ty Simpson and Fernando Mendoza, and having Albert Breer say, well, yeah, the Indiana quarterback benefited more from having the NFL draft wide receiver prospects more than the Alabama QB was crazy to me. And being like, yeah, the guy in Indiana was throwing to NFL prospects. The guy at Alabama wasn't. You got to take that into consideration. I'm like, what? What did you say? Crazy to think about.
You just got to run it through your filter. You just got to know that on the front end.
It's just projection. It's all about projecting, Production and projection. How could we combine the two? How do we find a formula? That's what they always tell you. But anyway, after the Cardinals at 3, nobody knows. Here's a big thing. Like, called an uninteresting draft, but there definitely are players that are going to be, high caliber, even potential Hall of Fame players. They just don't happen to be at the most important positions, right? Off-ball linebackers, Sonny Skiles and Arvell Reese are 2 guys where it's like, those guys are awesome, but like, that's not a position on defense you invest a ton in, right? Outside of like they're not making more than edges and they're not making more than corners and stuff like that. Caleb Downs, safety, right? Not necessarily considered a premier position. The one though that's most interesting to me is Jeremiyah Love, because you look at his RAS score, you look at his speed, you look at his strength, you look at his toughness, this guy Jeremiyah Love is full package. Jeremiyah Love is one of the best running back prospects we've seen in quite some time, rivaling guys like Bijan Robinson, rivaling guys like Christian McCaffrey coming out of Stanford. Like this is a dude where, man, you just want a player like that just to have a player like that. But I did a little research here. I'm going to read you, Josh Hodson,
please,
the top 3 needs from the teams in the top 10. Raiders, QB, wide receiver, O-line. Jets, QB, edge, wide receiver. Cardinals, QB, O-line, edge. These are teams that probably aren't going to take Jeremiyah Love. This is where it starts, though. Tennessee, O-line, edge, wide receiver.
Yeah.
Giants, D-line, quarterback, O-line. Cleveland, quarterback, O-line, wide receiver. Washington, wide receiver, cornerback, edge. NOLA, wide receiver, edge, cornerback. KC, quarterback, wide receiver, edge. Cincinnati, D-line, linebacker, O-line. Dallas, wide receiver, quarterback, edge. Do you know how far you have to go back in the first round to find a team whose number 1 need is considered to be a running back?
Oh, no, I don't.
The 32nd pick in the draft, the Seattle Seahawks. They are the only team to be considered. In fact, I went through, this was on the NFL Network. There wasn't one team in the top 3 for needs that had running back. Fascinating to me. And I think it kind of shows you the value, right? How running back value used to be, oh my God, you got to get a running back. You got to be able to run the ball. You got to get an Eric Dickerson. You got to get a Marshall Faulk. You got to get a Barry Sanders. You got to get a Walter Payton. You got to get an Adrian Peterson. You got to have these guys who can run the ball. Always a top need. We had the New Orleans Saints trading all of their picks to take Ricky Henderson. Or Ricky Williams. Jeez. Right? Now it's like, yeah, the team with the 32nd pick, that's the only team that's got a running back as their number 1 need. And you go through recently drafted first-round quarterbacks all the way to 2018, you can see why. Now, if you go through the first 4, Ashton Genty, Amarian Hampton, that was last year. Then we skipped a year, then Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs. That's, okay, not bad, right? But then you go down the line, since then, Najee Harris, no longer on the team he was drafted by. Travis Etienne, no longer on the team that he was drafted by. Saquon Barkley, no longer on the team that he was drafted by. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, lol. Josh Jacobs, no longer on the team he was drafted by. Rashad Penny, no longer on the team he was drafted by. Leonard Fournette, out of the league. Christian McCaffrey, traded to San Francisco 49ers. Ezekiel Elliott, left, came back. Now I don't even know where he is anymore. Sonny Michel, lol. We just haven't had a great run of long-term, long-time first-round running backs. And I think another thing that you have to take into consideration, too, is depending on where you're drafting him, you're paying a lot for a running back who hasn't taken a snap in the NFL. If Tennessee drafts him at 4, Jeremiyah Love will get $12 million a year. That will be the 7th highest paid running back in the NFL.
Whoa.
If he gets drafted 5th to the Giants, he'll be at 11.4. He's now the 11th highest paid running back in the league. If he gets drafted 6th by the Cleveland Browns, he'll be the 12th highest paid running back in the league. And if he's drafted 7th by the Washington Commanders, he'll be the 14th highest paid running back in the league. So it's one of those things, too, where it's like, well, we see this recent history of first-round running backs not having a great ROI, but then at the same time, you have, this guy who's awesome, who's insane. And Kenneth writes in, Jeremiyah Love is going to be more than just a normal running back. If a team is smart, they work him at the slot. He's just as dangerous in the pass game. Kenneth is right. But if you look at history and you look at needs and you look at how much you're paying the guy, the value doesn't really work out. And the history tells you that's probably a bad idea. That he's probably going to have his highest impact in winning just based off of what we have here of former first-round running back draft picks as a guy who's probably going to have his highest impact on a different team. How do you handle that? How do you make that decision? Do you go against the grain? Do you say, damn history, damn needs, damn all of this, that guy's a future Hall of Famer potentially. That's a guy we can use in the run game and in the pass game. That guy is going to sell tickets. That guy's going to sell merchandise. That guy is going to be a draw the minute he walks through that door.
Titans do have new jerseys and a new stadium to fill.
Or do you draft an O-lineman that casual fans never really heard about that is probably going to impact your team at a higher level for longer? The Jeremiyah Love conundrum, where the money, the trend, the history, and the return on investment tells you otherwise, but your eyes tell you, how can we not have this guy on our team? In an uninteresting draft, from a general uninteresting draft, that is the most interesting piece. We're going to push back this week in women's history to 1 o'clock. I want to give it some proper time. Coming up next, though, we're going to look at some City Connect jerseys. Josh Hodson has some opinions.
I had a little think tank.
Okay.
I created
I want to hear your think tank. You have a lot of different voices in your think tank. We're going to hear from Josh's think tank coming up next here on the 1620 Sound Radio Network.
Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
This feels like a day that like Scheffler's going to come out and just hit 7 under. We're gonna be, good Lord. Here we go. Sam Burns now leading the Masters ahead of Pat Reed, who had a very good start, but is still 4 under through 13. Sam Burns, the American. If you picked him as your American golfer on your Masters.com pool app.
Yeah, I was going to say, can I bet country to win? Like you can bet conference to win.
The Masters kind of does it right and does it wrong in a way when you do your pool. You can, by the way, you can, yes. So you can bet like best American, best South African, best Australian, best world, right?
I meant more like you can bet SEC to win the college basketball national championship.
Yeah.
Can I bet
America to win?
America to win.
I don't know. You
Japan to
probably
win?
could. PC would know. I'm almost positive you can. That
Makes sense.
Dude, Freddie Couple. Oh my God. Get in, Fred. That was good shit. He's going to put that in for par. Going to be 200 through 6. Freddie Couples turning back the clock. The 63-year-old VJ Singh is 5 under, by the way, or 5 over. But Sam Burns, I like the Masters pool app, how they do it. But you can, I don't know, I would have some tweaks. Let's quickly, before we have to hit a break here, go through the City Connect jerseys.
A better producer would have some visual aids for the YouTube stream.
We've decided, well, this is my fault. I decided to do this on a whim. The Atlanta Braves have a powder blue.
It's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Does everybody need a powder blue jersey?
Everyone does not need a powder blue. It's overdone in society today. This is a very well done powder blue.
I'm out.
Okay.
Baltimore sucks.
I have constructed a think tank.
Yeah, what did they say about Be More?
It's a think tank of women who
great.
Don't necessarily follow the sport as closely as you and I. The bleep are the Be Mores. Don't hate the colors. I like the blocking of it. The bird feels grandma-ish, like you got it for your birthday and are forced to wear it. Hat is cool though.
Be More is crazy. What is the numbering? The numbers are like old-timey, like 1920 New York Yankee numbering. Oh, thank you. Cincinnati Reds looks like that looks like a Chicago Bulls uniform.
It's too red.
It's a lot of red. It's a lot of red.
My think tank also agrees that it's too red.
Okay.
It's giving communism, my think tank said.
The Kansas City Royals look like they put together an Italian soccer league outfit.
So to understand the Royals, you have to understand like the logo of Kansas City.
You don't know history, man. You got to understand this. You got to
there.
understand the history. There's a deeper meaning in this.
They're going to get called some words that I don't know that they're ready to be called. It's going to get dicey in the comments section of every Royals post with these. The hat is atrocious.
It's disgusting.
The uniform is fine if you understand like
the hat looks like a pharmaceutical brand.
Yeah.
That looks like the brand for a GLP-1. Like that's what that looks like. They look like they're wearing Italian soccer uniforms. The Brewers City Connects look like what you could find on like a summer league baseball field.
Wisco. What is Wisco?
People from Wisconsin don't even call Wisconsin Wisco.
You can't
and our Wisconsin
me,
listeners could appreciate.
It's a lot like Be More. Like you can't tell me, oh, this is what everyone calls it.
Okay,
can't.
People in Baltimore call it like Be More Baltimore.
Yeah.
You know, where I'm as the person who knows Wisconsin the best here on this radio
There's
station,
only 2 of us in this room.
I would say it's people don't call it Wisco. All right, the Pirates. Hot.
You're into this.
Hot. It looks like a pirate ship. It looks like a pirate's flag.
Sure.
San Diego, whatever. You love. I know you love San Diego. You love the bright colors.
I do. I like the last one better. This is more of a trip back to the blue and orange days with Tony Gwynn.
Before we do the This Week in Women's History, what did the think tank think of Texas? Tejas.
Tejas. The red is killing me. They'll probably win every game because people will be shielding their eyes from the fire engines in front of them.
I like them. They're clean. I like the pants.
I like the hat. Not
I like
the uniform.
pants.
Oh, the pants are okay.
Are cool.
Yeah,
pants are out. All right, we got to hit a break here, but our favorite segment of the week coming up. This Week in Women's History, celebrating the ladies through the decades here on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.
Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Joe Colbert walked into our studio. You know, he's wearing a Boston Celtics hoodie.
I had seen that. I noticed.
Wonder who gave him that.
I'm going to guess you did.
You would think, you know, for somebody who posted on Twitter that he had to wash out the stench of that hoodie because it was owned by me, he wouldn't wear it as much. You brought up a great point in our off-air conversation. I'm going to bring it on air. Okay. You know, we read the quotes yesterday from Diana Rossini. We read the quotes yesterday from Mike Vrabel because you have a great graphic here on our
back
Zone,
up there just in case you
our
missed
Zone YouTube TV page.
I want to point out it says hashtag friends.
They are clearly friends.
It does not say hashtag lovers.
You want to lock our fingers right now together? Here.
That's what
You want to
friends
do airlock our fingers. We're locking our fingers together because
Felt
that's
good. Felt
that's
right.
what, you know, not so close compromising your professional relationship friends do. They interlock their fingers. You know, Diana, I just want to point this out. Guys, we're not speculating. We're not making jokes. Don't listen to the crossover. That's the part of the crossover I love sometimes when Schaefer and Happer are talking and I drop an inappropriate joke and only you hear it. It's always my favorite
And I
part.
could just see your eyes in between the two monitors. It's great.
Like, ooh, Happy learned how to punt. Apparently there were a lot of people there, according to Diana. Okay. And I wasn't there. I wasn't in Sedona. Okay.
You were not in Sedona.
I was not in Arizona.
Important.
But, you know, wouldn't somebody who likes Diana or who supports Diana or who was there in Arizona at this point have come out and said, hey, guys, Diana's right. Diana, we were all there. It wasn't inappropriate. We were all together. They're clearly our friends. They have a unique relationship. They've known each other for a very long time. They have a fun little thing. It's not a big deal. I'm just saying, wouldn't that has that happened yet? Have I missed that at all?
I have missed that interview.
Support for Diana Rossini.
If the two of them are happy, I genuinely couldn't care less. However, I haven't seen the Andrea Kramers of the world on shows like Kay Adams or Dan Patrick or Rich Eisen talking about the journalistic integrity of Diana Rossini.
There's actually quite the opposite that has come out.
There's
there's been a lot of people who have been like, I told you so. I told you. There was this comment all the way back in the day where the former general manager of the Washington Commanders said this about Diana.
A lot of clips of Diana Rossini trashing her husband in public.
In the wake of the report, Rossini's old comment about her husband, Kevin Goldschmidt, an executive at Shake Shack, resurfaced on social media. Rossini said, I think we all do weird things when we are in love. We overshare and overpost.
Oh, yeah.
I'm married to someone average. I don't post a lot about him. If I was married to someone beautiful, I'd overpost too, Rossini said. In saying that, let's talk about other women in history.
Women in history.
Today is This Week in Women's History every single Thursday, typically at 12:45, but we moved it back to 1 o'clock to give it its proper runtime.
You can't rush.
We cannot rush This Week in Women's History.
Segment.
This is what we do for This Week in Women's History every single Thursday.
Explain it to them.
I, Matt McMaster, was born in 2002. I am now 24 years old.
24. Happy birthday.
There are a lot of women in history that have shaped our culture in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s that I was born after they made a massive impact, okay? And I, being a sports nut, not necessarily the biggest pop culture person, have unfortunately missed out on the incredible contributions
I'm trying to round you out
to society that these women have made. Now, we have a hard and fast rule after Josh Odson was so immature.
Whoa.
Well, you had 5 Playboy models one time because, and here's why I was mad about that.
Happenstance.
This is not a crass segment.
It's not.
It's not. This is not hot or not.
Haters will think it is.
Even though that some of these women just happen to be absolutely gorgeous. Shout out Brooke Shields, who was our first woman through the decade.
Yeah.
Josh.
Today we begin with you tipped me off to you didn't maybe know this person last week. So I wrote it down. Sharon Stone. Sharon Stone.
No. Sharon
Basic
Stone.
Instinct.
Oh, the cross,
claim to
the
fame.
leg
Yeah.
cross thingy, right?
Casino. You've seen Casino.
I have not.
Oh, I thought you had.
I was thinking about watching
You were
it.
thinking about. Well, okay.
You got to understand. I thought about watching The Godfather for 2 years.
Sure.
You know, I'm now thinking about finishing The Gladiator after I already started.
Oh, you should finish Gladiator. It's just a good movie.
Maximus has just been told Caesar wants him to be the protector of Rome.
You're not very far at all.
No, I'm the half hour in. I got a lot to go. I don't know. I was finishing my Legos yesterday. I didn't have a lot of time to watch the movie.
I get it.
This doesn't help me being a kid.
Many people would say you could watch the movie while building the Legos, but I don't. Don't let me tell you how
I
to
can't
live your
do
life.
two things at once.
Okay.
That's not true. I can definitely do two things at once. Okay, Breakthrough and Basic Instincts.
Mm-hmm.
So did she do anything more?
Oh, I mean, she was in Casino, as we mentioned.
Yeah. How about Silver?
She was in Total Recall, wasn't she?
Why are you asking me? The point is that I don't know.
She was in the movie Sliver. Look.
Wow.
You need to have a shot of whiskey with you if you're going to watch the movie Sliver.
What is Sliver?
Sliver there's some tough subject matter.
What is
Sliver?
I'm
Billy Baldwin and Tom Berenger are not nice to Sharon Stone, which is kind of a theme.
Is she like the Jason Bateman of being in toxic relationships in movies?
You know what? Yeah.
Why is she always in a toxic relationship?
I don't know. I don't know the upbringing of Sharon Stone. I'm going to guess there's some trauma that she taps into for these types of roles.
You ever see Linda Lovelace?
I have not. No.
Okay.
The biography on Linda Lovelace. Should we put Linda Lovelace on the?
Oh, that's a woman?
Yeah.
Okay. It's the biographical drama Lovelace.
I believe that was
No, I'm just reading.
She was in more than Playboy, if I'm not mistaken.
In 2013, Stone played the mother of actress Linda Lovelace in the biographical drama Lovelace.
Yeah,
I didn't know if you knew that movie.
I am aware
or biographical
of certain portions of that movie.
Oh, you spark noted that movie?
Starring Amanda Seyfried.
Did you clip noted that movie?
I've made mental note of some parts
of
that
you
movie.
Made mental note. I can't wait for your wife to ask you about said mental notes.
I don't like where the segment is going.
Well, you know what? You're the one who's breaking the rules. I'm not being crass. You're the one who's being crass. We're talking about Linda. I didn't even know who this woman was. And now all of a sudden you're taking mental notes.
Sorry, I can't.
You're keeping a memory bank of Linda Lovelace.
I don't have any idea of Linda Lovelace's charitable contributions.
Neither do I. I don't even know who this woman is. This is why we're doing this segment.
Moving on.
Okay, it's clearly you want to. You're the one who's being. We
gotta keep it moving.
Who's next?
Rachel Lee Cook.
Married to Tommy Lee at any point?
No, Lee in this instance is spelled Leigh.
What? Like Lay?
If you choose to pronounce it that way, yes.
This is like when Christian Braun is brown, you know?
Rachel Lee Cook, many people know her as the star of She's All That.
What was that?
That was a movie starring Freddie Prinze Jr. and
I like Freddie Prinze Jr.
The dearly departed.
Okay.
Oh, what's his name? The hell's that guy's name? He died. Paul Walker. That's
from Minneapolis.
Yeah,
looks like a good old-fashioned Midwestern woman.
Yeah.
She's the daughter of Thomas Howard Cook, former stand-up comedian.
Oh, really?
He sounds like Thomas Howard Cook. How are you not famous? That's a strong name. Thomas Howard Cook.
Actually, Rachel Lee Cook will be in our fair town.
What is she doing?
She'll be here for Comic-Con in July.
Oh, okay. What's in Okay, cool.
Omaha Comic-Con.
We'll find out about that later. Cool. So was she only that?
That was her big thing. Let's see if I can find something else that she did.
She was in a comedy pilot in 2010 that failed.
Her other known fours are not great.
In the Summer Love.
She was in Josie and the Pussycats. I remember that.
Whoa!
It's the name of the musical group.
I don't know what did they make? What was their?
So Josie and the Pussycats was a Hanna-Barbera animated show in the 60s, 70s.
Oh,
It was later made a movie in the 90s, maybe early 2000s. So it was like a girl rock group who I think they solved mysteries or something.
they're like a Hairspray band or something. Or?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, cool. She was in Batman Beyond as a voice.
Oh,
Okay.
Chelsea.
It seemed like she just didn't. She did that one thing. Is she a one-hit wonder? Ooh, is Rachel Lee Cook a one-hit wonder? People are asking.
I'm going to say yes. Obviously, there's more work there, but
I mean, is there more
thing.
work that could get appreciated here? Is she an under? Is Rachel Lee Cook a one-hit wonder or underrated? Josh Hodson.
I would skew closer towards one-hit wonder.
Wow. Okay, we will see if people agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and do a third woman.
A third woman. Let's go. This should be fun. Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Who?
Zsa Zsa Gabor. Zsa is spelled Z-S-A.
Z-S-A. G-A-B. O-R. Zsa Zsa.
Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Okay.
She was second runner-up in the 1933 Miss Hungary pageant.
Wow. Okay.
Disqualified due to age.
How? Okay.
So the way
she lived to be 99 years old.
She did.
Oh my Lord! How many husbands do you think Zsa Zsa had?
I'm gonna go at least 5.
She had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 husbands.
9. Wow.
Her last marriage was in
1986
at the tender age of 79.
That's right. She passed away in 2016.
She was 99 years old.
Yeah. The way the Gabor sisters are explained to me.
Oh, okay.
She has some siblings. Ava, I don't know how it's pronounced.
Sure.
They were the Kardashians of
Hungary?
the 50s and 60s.
Okay.
They were sort of famous for being pretty, famous for being famous. I think
well, I mean,
Eva was in Green Acres, which was a sitcom back in the day.
I mean, to be fair, and you know, she did do the Kardashian thing where you have a lot of love interest. You know, that is very much a common theme. Is she known for? So obviously, Miss Hungary is what you said.
Yes.
Okay. And
Hungary, the country, not like Campbell's Soup had
okay,
a pageant
but that's
for
how
hungry
you say.
people.
But that's how you say the. Yeah. Can you imagine if Campbell's Soup sponsored Miss America? The Miss America pageant brought to you by Campbell's Chunky Chicken Noodle Soup.
Yeah.
You're looking for love in your stomach? Looking for love in the air? Get yourself Campbell's Chunky Chicken Noodle Soup. And don't forget to get cream of mushroom, only out now in selected stores. Campbell's Chunky Chicken Noodle Soup, the official sponsor of the Miss America pageant.
Zsa Zsa was in.
By the way, yeah, Canada's right. Hungary. It's Hungary. That's how you say the country's name. Yeah. She's Miss Hungary.
Yeah.
We're not going to make inappropriate jokes about that. That's not something we would do. We would never do that.
She was a legitimate actress. She was in Moulin Rouge.
I've heard of Moulin Rouge. Yeah, is it like
you're probably more familiar with the Nicole Kidman version, which is absolutely fine. I think it's the one most everyone.
Who's Nicole Kidman? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I got you. She's the girl at the movie theaters.
That's right.
This is why we come to the movies.
That's
to
right.
be thrilled. God, I almost got you there.
You did.
I almost got you there. I'm a little insulted that you didn't realize that was a joke. For
it seemed like a pretty obvious one. I was going to have some follow-up questions, but
that would have ruined my career.
Hey, Batman guy doesn't know girl in Batman movie.
That would have been bad. All right, I'm a little look. It just seems like she's. I don't know if I love the Kardashian of the 1940s. I don't know if I'm a fan of that.
Are you a fan of the Kardashian sisters now?
Okay. Ask yourself that question. Do you think I'm a man that would be a fan of the Kardashians?
I don't even know if you could name them all.
Kourtney, Kim, Khloe, Kylie, Kendall.
Whoa.
And Kris.
You rattled that off.
They've been married to Scott Lamar, Chris Humphreys.
Whoa.
They also have a brother. Pretty sure his name is Brian or something.
Rob
Rob Kardashian.
Fat Rob.
Their husband, their father defended O.J. Simpson.
That is correct.
And then Bruce Jenner is the other. Or
goes by Caitlyn.
Caitlyn Jenner. My apologies. Yes, I know about the Kardashians.
Okay. But I'm going to guess you don't care for them.
No. Why would I care? Why would I care about the Kardashians? Have they?
I'm just going to fire this off right now. I haven't thought about it for more than a second. The Kardashians are to pop culture what Nickelback is to music. Boy, everyone sure seems to hate them, but a lot of people are buying their content.
I'm not.
I know you aren't. Everybody hates Nickelback. Everybody hates the Kardashians.
See,
yet the Kardashians keep getting opportunities to make things. Nickelback keeps getting opportunities to make things. I
like Nickelback. I went to a Nickelback concert and got a Nickelback t-shirt. The first time I hung out with Mike Schaefer was at a Nickelback concert.
Whoa, I did not know that.
I know. And the first time I met his great wife, who she's great.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
Met at Nickelback.
Okay.
Sad Husker fan goes, it's sad you know that much about the Kardashians, Matt. I have a mother who loves the Kardashians. I have a 16-year-old or 18-year-old sister. They're all about the K's.
We're gonna get Mom on the show one day.
No, I mean, I don't think it'll be as entertaining as you think.
Find me.
I don't say that about my mom. All right. No, hard and fast rule. The same thing on the other show I was at. You don't talk about mom.
Okay. Fair.
Here's my thing about my dad being on the morning show would be awesome. Okay. But like him being on my show or mom being on my show, like I would just be like, how are you? How was work?
I do agree that there would be an annoyance from you.
Not an annoyance. I love my parents, but like there's nothing, I know everything about them already.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I want to find out about new things about them on the radio.
That's right.
You know, I know a lot about my parents' history. I just be like, you take your medicine today? Did you get your steps in? Did you work out? Okay. Did you leave the desk chair? Because you don't leave the desk chair and then you hurt your neck when you're looking at the television when you're watching TV.
Whoa. I don't want that for your mom.
Did you change? No, this is more so about my dad.
Oh, okay.
My mom's active. My dad's like, dude only has one channel on the TV at all times. Only
Becoming
one
sedentary.
Channel. Well, yeah. I mean, it's just like change the channel. Get a different news source. All right. Coming up next. Lauren Michelson, KETV, joins us here on Middays with Matt on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.
Now, back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Hey, Zach Bryan is coming to Lincoln on April 25th. We're going to go ahead and give away tickets to Zach Bryan's concert at April 25th at Memorial Stadium. Here's what we're going to do. At the end of the segment with Warren Michelson, we're going to give you a question. We're going to give you a question.
Question for you.
We're questioning for you. Question. What bear is best? No, that will not be the question. We're also not going to tell you to name a cut of steak to win tickets to Zach Bryan. It'll be a slightly more nuanced question. Not that much more nuanced, if we're being honest. If you answer that question correctly to Josh O at 1620 The Zone, you will win a pair of tickets to Zach Bryan. I believe it's the Heaven On with Heaven On tour featuring special guest Kings of Leon and J.R. Carroll, April 25th at Memorial Stadium. So stay tuned to the end of this interview with Warren Michelson for an opportunity to go and see Zach Bryan at Memorial Stadium. Lauren Michelson of KETV, will you be at Zach Bryan? Will you be going to the concert? Is that up your alley? Are you a country music person?
I am a country music fan. We had tickets, but you know what? We sold them, and instead, I am going to find my way onto a beach in Florida.
Wow. Hell yeah, you deserve it. Where or you don't need to dox yourself, but are we talking Tampa? Are we going to be on our feet in Florida? Are we going to doing touristy things in Florida? Or are we just sitting on the beach? Are we at Marco Island? Are we at the Keys? Have you ever been to the Keys? They're great.
Never been to the Keys, have been to Marco Island. We're doing Clearwater area.
Okay.
I want phone off for a couple of days, unplug. April's one of the only times I feel like we can kind of do that. So I'm taking full advantage.
Good for you. Good for you. At some point you got to get to the Keys. You would love the Keys. It's great. Great beach, great everything. Great little town. It's awesome. I want to go back there. I might be going. I think I might be doing the Florida thing, but in January, because that's when things kind of cool down here for us. I know, but I keep going back to Chicago. I spent all my travel money going back home. I need to take a Matt vacation coming up, but a Lauren vacation is on the docket in April. Good for you. All righty, let's talk about the transfer portal, college basketball. We will first go with the Huskers. We'll then transition to Creighton. Let's talk about Berke leaving. Your reaction to Mr. Buchtingel after having a pretty shaky start to his Nebraska basketball career, ends up becoming a fan favorite to the point where a lot of people are pretty emotional about his departure. What says you, Lauren Michelson? How big of a loss is this for the Huskers, and in particular in comparison to Rink Mask and Sam Hoiberg and all the other guys that they're going to be losing this season? How big of a deal is Berke not being on this team?
Yeah, I mean, Berke leaving was certainly a surprise, but I think it was more so a surprise to fans than it was to probably internally the Nebraska program. Robin Washut reported that they just couldn't strike a deal financially with what he wanted, and that's just the reality of what college sports is nowadays. I think it's disappointing because he was such a physical player and he brought such a unique personality. Yeah. His teammates adored him, the fans adored him, but that's unfortunately just what it is right now in college hoops, right? In college sports in general. I think losing him, Sam, Rink, Jamarcus, they're going to be okay because they have a plan set in stone. They have a very good GM working the system here, and Hoiberg's got an eye for talent. He wants guys that fit the culture, and those four guys certainly did. But they got to restructure their front court now, and I have no doubt they'll do it. I think not to say he would come back, but you can always test the waters and then remove your name from the portal as well. You never know what's going to happen. So I don't think people should be disappointed. I think it's, no negative feelings towards Nebraska. It just comes down to money and the right fit right now.
Most important type of player Nebraska basketball needs to acquire, according to Lauren Michelson, is what?
I think they need a great ball handler, point guard, someone that can just really fit in well with this offense, and then just be a good culture guy. That's the biggest thing. Is you talk about the funniest thing said all year, which was at times true, is this Nebraska team is not the most athletic, yet they've found a way to be so successful. And why is that? Well, this team really loved each other, and that can kind of be such a silly thing to say at times, but they work so well. They had a bunch of selfless players. Yeah. And I think that's just kind of a lost art a lot of times right now, is getting guys that really play for one another and are willing to do whatever it takes to win for the team rather than for me. So, yeah, I mean, and I like that Hoiberg said that. He's like, yeah, number one priority, fit the culture. We have our priorities, but they need a good point guard.
Let's go ahead and talk about the other, well, I don't want to call them the other team, but another team that plays in Nebraska, the Creighton Blue Jays. I mean, they're both in their own rights, obviously, right? We're the home of the Creighton Blue Jays. We definitely don't want to disrespect them in any way, but they go ahead and they add a very important piece to this roster. Oswin Aramuse from Providence. He has played at the CHI Health Center here in Omaha a couple of times. Our friend Clayton Keller went ahead, posted a video of him going up against Ryan Kalkbrenner, but obviously this season as well, with 12 points and 10 rebounds was his average against the Blue Jays this season in Big East play. Were you at any of the games that Oswin played against the Blue Jays in Omaha? And if you weren't, no big deal, but your kind of evaluation of how big of an ad this is for Creighton.
Yeah, I anchored the one of the nights, and so had his highlights. And I mean, I think this is like, you talk about Alan Huss being a heck of a recruiter, and priority number one, getting a big man, an elite rim protector. Like, that was such an issue for the Blue Jays this year, and he brings that right away. I mean, he blocked 8.5% of his opponent's shots last season. Physical dude. I think this is a home run commitment. If you could have started the Alan Huss era like this, I think whatever comes, this is the best way to start it off. So yeah, I think Blue Jay fans have a lot to be excited for. I think this is only scratching the surface of what Coach Huss has in plan for his first season at the helm. And yeah, I'm really actually excited about this. And, you know, you have a lot of depth pieces leaving and moving on, entering the portal, but Max said it in his post-game press conference at the Crown, his final presser. He was like, what Huss is so good at that he didn't say that I'm not, but that I'm just not interested in right now, is he is so good at moving with what college basketball is right now. He understands NIL so well. He understands how to address the guys. He has such a keen eye for talent and how to negotiate and find what fits in with his rosters. And I think that's already on display, and we'll continue to see that as the weeks move forward.
Lauren Michelson, I'm always curious to ask you this next question. I think I went away from the well a little bit just because we had so much going on in terms of, you know, obvious topics to talk to you about. But you kind of mentioned you're in April, things have cooled down a little bit. We're not doing high school sports anymore, and you know, the basketball seasons are over, and now we're kind of in more off-season acquisition stuff. You're everywhere. You're in Omaha. You're in Lincoln. You are in just the place that is the place to be, right, for stories. Is there a story, a team, a player that you're covering or you've been noticing that you don't think we're talking about enough?
Well, I think people are talking about Nebraska softball right now and Omaha softball, but I think we really have to take a step back and realize how exciting it is that we have and Creighton softball shut out Drake yesterday. So softball as a whole in the state of Nebraska is in a really, really good spot.
Yeah.
And, you know, Nebraska baseball is having a heck of a season too. And the postseason for both those teams is going to be really exciting. But Nebraska and Omaha play in a midweek game, I believe, next week. And it'd be cool to see fans pack Connie Clausen because there's so much talent on both those teams. And I think what really sets Nebraska apart this year, I mean, Jordy Fromm's always been a heck of a player, and their offense has always been so incredible, but their fielding this year is unbelievable. And center fielder Hannah Core has been so excellent. You're watching her play, and she's stealing home runs. She's gunning down runners. She's just a star out there. And I think if you're not paying attention to softball, start with Nebraska and take a look at what those young women are doing out there.
I would love to hear your opinion on this because, like, you know, volleyball is going to play in Wrigley Field. And that is going to be Nebraska volleyball specifically going to play in Wrigley Field. Those tickets went on sale today. And like you mentioned, softball skyrocketing. You have the Omaha Supernovas who have already run a professional volleyball championship and, you know, trying to become the premier volleyball league, premier volleyball team in the country, along with, you know, just like what you mentioned, women's sports being at the forefront and so important, not only in just specific schools, but the state in general. But still, when I go out of state or I talk to people from my hometown, they're always kind of surprised to hear about, women's sport being so important in Nebraska and us putting, these women athletes, like you mentioned, at the forefront. How do you think, and I know this is a tough question, but I think you're very equipped to answer it. Like, how do we put that more at the forefront? How do we get more people to know about, hey, this is what the state does?
Like in terms of letting the rest of the country realize how Nebraska. I mean, I think it's happening. I think every year when Nebraska volleyball is even just as simple as playing at home, and you're seeing fans completely wrapped around the outside of the venue waiting in line, and you talk about how season tickets, it's like the toughest ticket to get in the state, and how the heck are the Supernovas packing the CHI Health Center every night. I think it's growing, and people do know and do recognize how special Nebraska is for that reason. I mean, it's really all sports for many reasons, and it starts with the fan base. That's just so remarkable. But you can go back to like the early 2000s and players like Jordan Larson, who just retired, and that being such a big part of it. And the reason why it's so special in Nebraska is so many of these athletes, especially these women, when you have your Jordy Froms and you have women like Rebecca Alec, who just graduated, and you grow up in Nebraska, you stay in Nebraska, and then you play for your hometown team, and you are nationally at the center because it's so unique to do that and to be so loyal to your school and your state, and they do represent the state. So, how do you get people to pay attention? You keep winning, you keep finding ways to grow the sport, and I think volleyball has done that. I think softball's on the horizon here as well. So
great comments as always. Great answer. We got a comment here from Travis in the YouTube chat. Iowa Western softball's 31-5. So it's happening. Maybe that's a story you go and cover. Who knows?
It's a great story.
Yeah.
See, I did. Yeah, that's a heck of a story. They're 31-5. My God. So top to bottom, every level, I just think the sport's growing so much, and I do think people care. And what Nebraska fans, not like just UNL, but fans in the state of Nebraska need to continue to do is supporting these women, right?
Yes.
Like, if you're not doing anything for a midweek game, go out there and watch some softball.
Yeah.
And just being there and paying attention. Like, that's all you can do is support and watch and learn the game and love the game.
And I think too, there definitely is a responsibility that we have as media to continue to elevate, the importance of that and talk about that. You already do that. Definitely. We have to do that a little bit more here on Middays with Matt, but we appreciate you coming on and voicing that opinion, and honestly, not voicing that opinion, voicing the fact that softball in the state is on the rise. Lauren Michelson, you're on the rise as always. Thank you so much for joining us here every other Thursday on Middays with Matt. We appreciate you so much.
Thanks, guys. Good talking to you.
Good talking to you as well. Lauren, you know what? It's one of those things where we just got to keep talking about it. But I will admit with Lauren, like it definitely is more of a prevalent thing when you talk about the importance of women's sports here in Nebraska. And I just think that's just a really cool thing that this sport does. And it always just comes back to what I truly believe, not just with Nebraska athletics, but really any athletic here, like in terms of Creighton and Nebraska and Omaha to a certain extent. If you build it, they will come. If you build a winner, people will go and watch a winner. People will talk about a winner, right? And so it's one of those things where, there's a lot of obviously, we always have the conversations about football across the state, but if you look everywhere, right, not just in Nebraska, but all across the state in terms of athletics, there's a lot of success that's going on for both the men's athletics and women's athletics. And I think that the state as a whole, that they definitely can be proud about that, and how important sports are in the state. Coming up next, we give you a dog of the day and what we will be watching tonight with Josh Odson here on Middays Matt at 1620. Hotshot. It's time to give away tickets to Zach Bryan. Here's what we're going to do. April 25th at Memorial Stadium. April 25th at Memorial Stadium with Heaven on Tour. We have some gloomy skies. We have some great skies today. But Zach Bryan has a very, very famous song that has the word skies in it. Blank skies.
Okay.
What is the word before skies? What's that famous song? Blank skies. If you email Josh Odson, Josh O at 1620 The Zone. Blank skies. What is that famous song that Zach Bryan has sung? You answer that first, you get 2 tickets. April 25th at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska to watch, to listen, to enjoy Zach Bryan with Heaven on Tour, along with special guest Kings of Leon and J.R. Carroll. Josh Odson. What are we watching tonight, my man?
We are, I just realized I had a typo in here. We're watching basketball, doubleheader of NBA action on Amazon Prime tonight. The Celtics are resting everyone at the Garden against the Knickerbockers.
Have they locked up the number 1 seed like OKC?
They have locked up the 2 seed.
Okay.
Detroit Pistons, the number 1 seed. I was laughed at for bringing it up in November. 6:30 start on Amazon Prime. Lakers Warriors follows that at 9 o'clock. Diamondbacks Mets 6 o'clock on MLB Network. NHL on Hulu tonight. Maple Leafs Islanders at 5:45. Wild Stars at 8. The Masters is on ESPN until 6. And if you're one of those working types, don't worry, there's an encore from 7 to 10 o'clock tonight. Amazon Prime is showing stuff too. There's all sorts of like, hey, if you only want to watch this hole, you can like have the camera focused on this hole. You want to watch this golfer, all sorts of ways to watch nowadays. And finally on HBO Max, the final season premiere of Hacks. After returning from Singapore, Deborah focuses on shifting her career narrative and cementing her legacy.
Couple of things that actually kind of sounds interesting. Not that I'm going to watch it, but that actually kind of sounds interesting. A little housekeeping before we get going here for the dog of the day. Number 1, John Gage. He is John Robert Gage, John Robert Gage on Twitter. He is of the Plains Sentinel. He's the executive director. He tweeted out, the Husker basketball team is here on the legislative floor. And there's a picture of the Husker basketball team all there at the state capitol. You see Henry Burt in the picture. Then John Gage then writes an article. Braden Frager tells Plains Sentinel that he's coming back. And then there's an article from the Plains Sentinel, plains-sentinel.com. Nebraska Star basketball player and Big Ten Sixth Man of the Year, Braden Frager, said he is coming back to play for another year on Nebraska's basketball team. So this reporter, why I don't believe, I mean, basically him being on the legislature floor, I don't think he's a sports writer, has reporting essentially that Frager told him that he is coming back to the team. And then Gage then quote tweeted his story saying that he's coming back. He quote tweeted by saying, Frager also said that Price Sanford is likely returning for his senior season.
I cannot wait to hear Mr. Gage tell the story of when Fred Hoiberg called him and said, you bleeped me, not your story to tell.
Here's my thing. He has a literal picture, unless this is a fake AI. I don't think it looks like a regular old grainy picture of all the Husker basketball team on the legislature floor. Then, there's people like Josh Peterson who are quote tweeting it. So, I mean, obviously not official, but a report from somebody who's willing to write an article that Braden Frager is coming back with picture evidence that they were there. Maybe we got. I don't think we did. And then here is an official report, though. Another entering into the portal for the Creighton men's basketball team from John Walker. Creighton forward Kiram Konan is entering the transfer portal. He tells me the Turkish product averaged 2.5 points and 1.8 rebounds in 30 games in his lone season with the Jays. Another J in the portal. Add that to Blake Harper. Add that to Ty Davis. Add that to Fedor Zukic. Add that to Owen Freeman. Add that to Joshua Townley Thomas. And I'm pretty sure I'm missing another one too. So one in, but plenty out for this Creighton men's basketball team. so far this transfer portal cycle.
All right, folks, let's talk right now. I'm going to kill your bookmaker. I'm going to rip his throat out. I will blow this man out. I will step on his throat until the man chokes. Let me tell you how. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. I'm on a roll.
Dude, you got to love dogs, right?
All right, let's go to the Masters real quick. We're going to put in a live bet. Currently, right now, Sam Burns is 5 under. He's done for the day, currently in first place after round 1 of the Masters. Rory McIlroy, he's 4 under through 14. But Scotty Scheffler, Scotty, my boy, has made an incredible start to the Masters. He's 3 under through 4. Right on his heels, the Ludwig Oberg, our guy, 3 under through 6. If you go to your betting apps, you can live bet end of Masters round 1 leader. We're going to take Oberg plus 426 to be the end of first round leader here at the Masters.
Think he's going to be a wire-to-wire winner?
He might be. I would like it if he.
I guess you can lose it and get it back.
Finish the day and then was trailing after Friday, but then was in the final group Sunday is probably the best thing to happen for Ludwig. Probably not best for him to sleep on the lead though. I think if Ludwig went to bed in the final group when it was down 1, that probably would be better for him. He's got to learn how to close out tournaments. This would be one hell of one to learn how to close out. So we'll go with Oberg to finish the first round as the leader. Real quick before we go to the crossover with unsportsmanlike conduct, John Rahm, 3 over through 6.
Whoever could have seen this coming?
Maybe it's the guy who didn't bet the live guys. I told you not to bet the live guys. Fade the live guys. Guys, come on. Rough start. Had a 8-foot putt for par on 6 and just absolutely pushed it to the left. Tough start for John Rahm, but our sweet baby boy, Scotty Scheffler, finished in the top 10, my man, after end of round 1. I'd be a happy camper. Dinner's also a happy camper. John Bishop and Josh Peterson. They're joining us next here on the crossover and on Sportsmanlike Conduct. Coming up next, thank you so much for listening with Middays with Matt here on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.